FBS program, and at 0-2 know that this is a game they must win. Quarterback Ronnie Fouch guides a Sycamore team anxious to prove that last year's third-place finish in the Missouri Valley was no fluke. It's a whiteout tonight as former Gateway Conference rivals collide. We are at the bottom of the hill, Bowling Green, Kentucky. Houchin-Smith Stadium, the backdrop for tonight's college football matchup between the Sycamores of Indiana State and the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. Hi, everybody. Sean Kinney alongside former Michigan and NFL quarterback Drew Henson. Welcome to college football on ESPN3. It's been a rough ride for Indiana State the past decade. This is a Sycamore team that went 3 years without a win, 33 consecutive losses, but times have changed. Washington assistant coach Trent Miles has returned to his alma mater, and he has brought pride back to the program.
Brought pride and also brought back a former quarterback from Washington, Ronnie Fouch. Stabilized the position 2 years ago when he came, when you consider their former starting quarterback as their starting linebacker now.
Ronnie Fouch makes good decisions. He completed his first 10 passes last week against Butler. He has to have a big game tonight. Western Kentucky has struggled offensively out of the gate, and that's surprising because they have one of the premier running backs in Bobby Rainey.
Yeah, the senior shifty running back just passed 3,000 career rushing yards last week and is working on his 8th straight 100-yard game. They'll have to lean on him a lot tonight.
So far, the problem for WKU has been the play at quarterback. K'Wan Jakes is the returning starter, but he has struggled. 5 interceptions through the first 2 games. We saw a glimpse of what Brandon Doughty could do last week. These two will both play tonight.
Yeah, they haven't named a starter, so we'll see who takes the field in the first drive, but like you said, expect to see both.
Doughty last week came in the second half against Navy, led the Hilltoppers on a touchdown drive early in the third quarter. Doughty 102 yards last week, had a late pick in that game, and again, Willie Taggart not letting a clue in as far as who that starting quarterback is going to be tonight.
And they're really looking for one of them to step up, along with some receivers to make plays. That'll be key for this evening, for one of those guys to make plays to help them win.
Western Kentucky has not won a home game in 2 years here. Indiana State has not defeated Western Kentucky in the last 12 meetings. Something has to give tonight. College football next. Welcome back to Houchin-Smith Stadium, Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's the 21st meeting between the Sycamores of Indiana State and the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. Indiana State wins the toss. They elect to receive the football, so the Hilltoppers will kick off. Western Kentucky leads this all-time series, 14-5-1. Their last meeting, 2007, as the Hilltoppers beat Indiana State and Terre Haute 56-7. Corey Little tees it up, and we are ready to go. College football on ESPN3. Deep kick that Cheeseborough fields a step deep in the end zone. He'll return it up the middle, and good coverage by WKU as Cheeseborough is cut down at the 12-yard line. So out comes Ronnie Fouch. Fouch spent 2 years at Washington University, backing up Jake Locker, and now the senior in his second year with Indiana State, a chance to make some noise against an FBS program. We do have an injury on that kickoff, and it looks like it is the return man, George Cheeseborough.
That's something you don't like to see, Sean. Since he hit the ground, he hasn't moved at all, hasn't rolled over, hasn't moved his legs, so definitely cause for concern.
Cheeseborough, a 5'7" junior, 170-pounder. He is the backup tailback in this Indiana State offense. And like Drew mentioned, you hate to see a game start out like this.
And the Sycamores are already a thin unit to begin with.
Here's a look at the offensive lineup tonight for Indiana State in the backfield. Shakir Bell, Brock Lowe. The two receivers are Leonard Riston and Justin Hilton. Lowe had the big game last week against Butler. He scored 3 touchdowns, went over 100 yards on the ground. Up front, they are led by F.N. Lutz. At center, Ben Gifford is the emotional leader on the offensive line. He is from Griffith, Indiana. Masters, Passwater, and Wood round out that offensive front 5. Western Kentucky defense tonight led by their 2 ends, Bo Adebayo and Jared Clendenin. Martin and Allen are the 2 down tackles. Linebacking core, Andrew Jackson anchors the middle. He's a solid one. He's the team's leading tackler. Xavier Boyd, the other backer, and Tenario Davis. The secondary, Beard at safety, Keontae Young, the free safety, Thomas and Robinson are the two cornerbacks. And Beard back in his normal position at strong safety after filling in at free safety last week. We're going to take a timeout, an injury timeout early on in this one as they work on George Cheeseborough. Just underway, Western Kentucky and Indiana State. Back with more after this. Well, certainly one of the aspects of this game we hate to see. It is a violent sport, and these types of injuries do occur. And on the opening kickoff, George Cheeseborough is injured, and you can see the concern on both sides from Sycamore fans and Hilltoppers. And Drew, as a player, as we look at this, tough to tell what exactly happened with Cheeseborough, but you always err on the side of caution in anything like this.
And certainly, normally you see more of a helmet-to-helmet hit when a back goes down like that and doesn't move, but it looks more like he took the contact on the shoulder.
Drew, you've been on the sidelines, I'm sure, where injuries have occurred like this, where they bring out the stretcher and the ambulance, and it does kind of take the steam out of the game on both sides, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and opening kickoff especially. It brings the real part of the game back into it when you realize that there serious injuries can happen. You just say a prayer for him and hope that he's going to be all right.
Cheeseborough is a junior running back. Again, the backup running back to Shakir Bell. Those two are actually high school teammates. So Bell obviously concerned along with the rest of the Sycamores. You saw Trent Miles out there taking a look. And now the beauty with modern medicine is, again, they do not take any chances. They're going to go with the best care and just not make any mistakes here. So the stretcher called out, and he will be sent to the nearby hospital here in Bowling Green. But again, our thoughts with George Cheeseborough.
Yes, you certainly want to err on the side of caution in any circumstance like this.
Indiana State coming into this matchup a record of 1-1, lost to Penn State in opening week 41-7, bounced back with a nice performance against Butler 48-34. We mentioned Western Kentucky needing a victory tonight. They have started slow. Two losses to two good teams. Kentucky 14-3 on opening night. Then last week Navy had their way with the Hilltoppers 40-14. So Western Kentucky needs a win here on their home turf, especially in front of a large crowd tonight.
They do. You know, you work all spring, you work all summer in training camp in anticipation of this season, and when you begin the first month, two tough losses, you really want to get that first win on your belt.
You see medical crews from both sides attending to Cheeseborough as they lift him up, and again he will be placed into the ambulance, and a round of applause from both sets. A lot of the Hilltoppers on the field watching closely. Obviously the teammates of Cheeseborough on the field, and now if you're Indiana State, you got to regroup quickly.
You do. The emotion is deflating, but again, you got to come out and try to put together a good, efficient first drive.
See offensive coordinator Harold Etheridge trying to deliver a pep talk in his second year. Etheridge and Trent Miles will both be calling the plays tonight for Indiana State. This is a Sycamore team averaging right around 313 yards per game offensively. A very balanced attack, both running the football and throwing. Last week it was Brock Lowe running the ball, but Ronnie Fouch very efficient. And when we sat down and talked with Trent Miles earlier this week, Drew, we asked him, how'd you get this thing turned around so quickly? And before I could even get the last word of that question out of my mouth, he said Ronnie Fouch.
Exactly. Exactly. They were basically on the brink of canceling the football program before Coach Miles came back, and he emphasized having a quarterback, a legitimate quarterback that can do all the things you ask of him, really is the foundation to get this program headed in the right direction.
Trent Miles was a wide receiver for Indiana State, saw an opportunity to resurrect this program, and he has done a good job. The Sycamores coming off their first winning season a year ago since 1996. They finished third in the very competitive Missouri Valley Conference, so a lot to build upon. And again, Cheeseborough will head to the nearby hospital, and hopefully we can get an update by the end of the broadcast tonight on his status.
I hope so.
So now the players have the job of getting back to the task at hand, however difficult that might be. Ronnie Fouch 6'2 senior, spent 2 years backing up Jake Locker out at Washington. He followed his coach Miles to Terre Haute, and here he is in a senior season with Indiana State. From the 14-yard line, they'll go to the air. Quick little flare out to the right side, but Western Kentucky is ready as they jump on the play. Loss of 3 on a little flare out to the right side.
The drive start, you like to start your quarterback and your offense with a couple easy reads, a couple easy throws. Just a nice job by the Western Kentucky defense coming up and making the tackle.
Bo Adebayo, one of the defensive ends, bringing down Shakir Bell on that last catch. 2nd and 13, the Sycamores deep against their own end. They're going to do some switching on the line. Alex Jones, he's a dangerous tight end. He lines up to the left. Lone back is Bell. 2nd down play, it's Bell on the ground getting his first call. Shakir Bell staying on his feet and is tripped up at the 17-yard line. 5-yard run, tripped up by the safety, Ryan Beard.
Again, you'll see the first 3rd and long coming up for Fouch. Here you see Bell using his quickness to get outside. A smart job by Justin Hilton not to block in the back there.
3rd down and 8, passing situation for Indiana State. Fouch from the shotgun looking right, throws that direction, passes caught up ahead to the 26-yard line. Donald Spencer, the transfer from Michigan State. It's a pickup of 10, and the Sycamores move the chains.
A nice job by Fouch, just recognizing the defense in the soft corner to his right. A nice on-target ball to Spencer.
Spencer's going to get a lot more looks this evening. He was suspended for the Week 1 game against Penn State. Caught 5 balls, including a touchdown last week against Butler. Same route. This time it's deflected away. Jumping in was Cam Thomas with the deflection.
A nice play by Thomas. Read on the release of Fouch, making a quick break on the ball to deflect it. You can see already that Fouch understands the coverage he's seeing, and he's working to the advantageous matchup.
Indiana State working in a semi-no huddle mode. They're kind of gathering about 3 or 4 yards off the line of scrimmage and then lining up quickly. 2nd and 10 from the 26. Fouch will give the ball to Bell. Not much room to work, but he stays on his feet. Tough running by Shakir Bell across the 30, up ahead to the 31-yard line. So that's twice early on this drive that we've seen Bell stay on his feet after initial contact.
And 3rd and 5 is a huge difference than 3rd and 8. And that extra effort, that nice balance, puts him in a manageable 3rd down.
Indiana State will try to convert on 3rd down again. You see the numbers, 40% on the season for the Sycamores. Straight drop. Here comes pressure, and down he goes. He's sacked back at the 24-yard line. Jamarcus Allen, the nose tackle in this defense, started all 12 games last year. He was the first one in to put pressure on Fouch.
And a real nice job by Jamarcus Allen, just with that somewhat swim move. It's tough as a quarterback to step up when you got pressure right in your face. Not much you can do there.
Santino Davis, the 6-foot senior on the punt for Indiana State. He stands inside his 10-yard line. The very dangerous Antonio Andrews awaiting the kick. It's a low, wobbly kick. Takes a friendly bounce for the Sycamores, and they will let this one roll all the way down to the 31-yard line. It's a 44-yard punt by Santino Davis. Maybe not the prettiest of punts, but effective.
It'll look good on paper after the game.
Well, now the million-dollar question, who's going to come out at quarterback for Western Kentucky? And the answer is Brandon Doughty. The redshirt freshman makes his first start for the Hilltoppers tonight. Doughty played the second half against Navy. Led the Toppers on a scoring drive early in the 3rd quarter, but then he quieted down considerably. Goes to the air. Vasquez makes the catch. Little butt hook pattern at the 35-yard line.
You know, Sean, it's much different coming off the bench and playing quarterback than it is starting. You got to, you know, that first drive out there, you got to believe he's got some nerves as well as excitement. It's a nice early completion.
Marcus Vasquez, the leading receiver from a year ago, he had a couple of early drops, so that's a confidence builder for both Doughty and his receiver Vasquez. 2nd down and 6. You see Bobby Rainey in the backfield. Western Kentucky tightens up their formation. Vasquez in motion. They sweep it right side to Rainey. The nation's third leading rusher from a year ago is swarmed on in the backfield. Thrown for a loss. Loss of 5 back to the 27-yard line. Here is the offensive starters for Western Kentucky. Rainey gets all the publicity, just crossed the 3,000-yard mark last week. Kadeem Jones is the physical fullback. Vasquez, Brown, and Brand, very fast wide receivers. Up front, the homegrown talent is Wes Jeffries at left tackle. He's a Bowling Green native. 3 returning starters from last year: White, Stansfield, Conway, and Smith. Passing situation for Doughty. Indiana State will rush 3. Doughty with time, steps up in the pocket, directing. Now he's going to try to run for the marker, and he is hit hard, and he did not make it. Knocked out of bounds about 2 yards away from the first down.
Well, a prevent call by the defensive coordinator for Indiana State, Jesse Minter, just rushing 3, dropping 8 versus 3 receivers. Not a lot. Nowhere to go with the ball. Smart decision to tuck it, try to get what you can. See, Doughty takes a lick on the sidelines as well.
Calvin Burnett with the hard hit on Doughty as he tried to stretch for the first down marker. Here comes Hendricks Brakefield on the punt. He's been the busiest Hilltopper after the first 2 weeks. Fair catch signal for, and it's dropped by Wriston. The ball is loose, and when Indiana State gets back on it, Wriston able to recover it for the Sycamores. It's a 40-yard punt by Brakefield. Second offensive series for Indiana State when we come back. No score early on from Bowling Green. It's a beautiful night for football here in Bowling Green. Welcome back to Houchin-Smith Stadium. 9:48 to go, first quarter. No score as Indiana State gets set for their second offensive series.
Both teams got the first drive jitters out of the way. Let's see if they can put something together here.
Brocklow is going to line up next to Fouch out of the shotgun. First down play. Fouch wants the home run. Has Hilton out there, and he makes the catch. Hilton down the sideline, tackled out of bounds at the 6-yard line. The big play receiver, Justin Hilton, on a perfectly thrown ball from Fouch.
You're right, Sean. Perfectly thrown ball by Fouch right there, about 45 yards downfield. And this is the type of talent you can see early. Good ball, a ton of air, and drops it right in the bucket. Great throw, huge play early for the Sycamores.
Hilton able to beat Cam Thomas on the streak route. 70-yard hookup. It's first and goal, Indiana State now, and we have movement up front. Red zone efficiency certainly critical tonight for Trent Miles. His team has been perfect, though, when they get inside the opposition's 20. 5 for 5 on the season.
That's what you like to see, and right there, just like Shakir Bell knew he was getting the ball and got a little bit too excited.
Boy, we see why Coach Miles was excited about the talent of Fouch. What a beautiful ball he delivered to Justin Hilton.
You couldn't throw it any better.
First and goal from the 9-yard line. And again, we have movement up front. Western Kentucky showing blitz with their linebackers, and the offensive linemen getting a little antsy up front for Indiana State.
And first and goal from the 18. Aren't a ton of great play calls. You really like to run the ball and get some of that back. From the 14, excuse me.
So the Sycamores are shooting themselves in the foot. Back-to-back 5-yard penalties. They now have it first and goal at the 14-yard line. Fouch will stay in the shotgun. Shakir Bell lined up to his right. Fouch to throw. Floats it to the end zone. Caught. Was he in bounds? Yes! Touchdown, Indiana State. Justin Hilton with the catch. And I'm sure the booth next to us will get a look at this one. Hilton with a great grab in the back of the end zone. 14-yard strike. And for now, the Sycamores on top, 6-0.
And again, you see the great touch throw by Fouch to Hilton again. Puts the ball up high where only his receiver can catch it. Wonderful job tapping the toes by Hilton. It looks good to me.
Here's the point after. It's up, and it is good for Corey Little. Hilton got both feet in. Indiana State shocking Western Kentucky as Ronnie Fouch throws the touchdown, his third touchdown of the year, and he finds his favorite target, Justin Hilton.
Going on.
Sycamores out to an early lead. Indiana State 7, Western Kentucky nothing. We'll find out how the Hilltoppers respond when we come back. More football from Bowling Green next. Justin Hilton with a 14-yard touchdown reception. 2 catches, 84 yards on that drive for Hilton. Last year, he was a touchdown shy of setting an Indiana State school record. He had 7 touchdowns, over 600 yards receiving, and off to a big start here tonight.
That's just the way you want to start the game, going on the road, having some success early, finding some matchups you like. At the end of the day, execute.
We're going to see a real treat now in number 5, Antonio Andrews. Last week against Navy, he had a 75-yard kick return. Andrews and Robinson to return the kick. 7-0 Sycamores out to a surprising lead. 8:32 to go, first quarter. Another low line drive kick. This will be Robinson picking the ball up at the 10. Robinson scoots free to the 30. Makes a move to the 40. Collides with the official. Return of 31 yards, and nicely done by Tyree Robinson.
As we see the replay, as the ball's bouncing around, Robinson does a nice job of picking it up and making something out of nothing. Wow, what a block by Rico Brown. Coming back as well. But sometimes when the ball bounces around a little bit, it throws off the timing and spacing of the coverage team, and you see returns like that.
Kwan Jakes now in at quarterback for Western Kentucky. So Doughty started the opening series. Now it's Jakes, the veteran. Bobby Rainey with good room. He'll pick up a first down. Rainey zigzagging his way through defenders, picks up 10. He's such a good downfield runner.
He is, and Coach Miles was telling us he doesn't need much space, to be effective. Just a crease here and there, and you see his footwork in this previous play that he's tough to bring down.
Kwan Jakes has struggled through the first 2 games. He was lifted at halftime against Navy last week. You saw the numbers, 5 interceptions plus a fumble for Kwan Jakes. This is the guy Willie Taggart wants to take the leadership role. Jakes a quick throw, pass is caught at the 40-yard line, stretching up ahead to the 38. It's Bobby Rainey coming out of the backfield, 8-yard quick throw.
And the biggest thing about playing the quarterback position is taking care of the football. And on any level, turn the ball over is going to get you pulled.
Coming into this 3rd game of the season, only Notre Dame has more turnovers than Western Kentucky. 2nd down and short. Kadeem Jones in as the blocking back out of the I formation. This is Rainey with the call, trying to follow Jones's block, but Indiana State closes the gap nicely. It's a very active linebacking core for the Sycamores. Jacoby Washington, the leading tackler, Archie and Roberts, both very physical linebackers. Not the biggest linebacking core, but they are athletic.
They're athletic, and they make a lot of plays sideline to sideline.
This will be close enough for a measurement, so they will bring out the chains for the first time. 7:01 to go, first quarter, 7-0 Indiana State on top. And by the nose of the football, they move the chains. First down, Western Kentucky. Willie Taggart with a sarcastic grin over there, thinking, boy, even first downs are tough to come by. We got to sweat those out early on this year.
That's true, but they're getting an early dose of Rainey, trying to establish him, bring up that 8th defender, and give Jakes or Doughty some easier looks to throw against.
Well, here is a unique look. It's a wildcat formation. They're going to bring in Andrews to take the snap, and it's a draw up the middle. Antonio Andrews, the electrifying returner. Willie Taggart trying to get him more touches, and I don't think anybody was expecting him to take a snap, but that's what they did. They put Jakes as a receiver to the top of the field, and Antonio Andrews out of the wildcat look.
That's one way to make sure that you got the ball in certain players' hands. A nice wrinkle that they probably put in this week.
You know, that was the million-dollar question coming in and talking with the coaches this week. How would they utilize Andrews? This is a former Mr. Kentucky football player here in the state during his senior year. He's a phenomenal quarterback. How do you get him touches with Rainey, the #1 tailback? And there's one possible way. Second down, play action for Jakes. Hit as he throws, and the pass is caught at the 23-yard line. It's the tight end, hauling it in, Jack Doyle.
Well, another confidence-building throw for K1 Jakes. As you see, as he comes off the play action fake, puts his head outside early and delivers a nice accurate ball to Doyle. Doyle using his 6'6", 248-pound frame to shield Eric King from the ball.
Doyle's a preseason candidate for the John Mackey Award. That's given to the top tight end in the country. Doyle leaves the backfield in motion. 1st and 10 from the 24. They pitch it right side to Rainey. Bobby Rainey slithers up ahead to the 20. 3-yard gain for the senior back.
This has been a nice balanced drive Western Kentucky's put together thus far. As they start to enter the red zone, as a quarterback, you have to make sure your decisions are even more decisive, knowing you probably have points. At the same time, trying to be aggressive.
Western Kentucky looking for the equalizer early on, first period. Inside 5 minutes to go. The Sycamores on top, 7-0. Keep an eye on number 4, Rico Brown. He's split to the top. 2 tight ends for Western Kentucky. Rainey gets the call, and he is met. Alex Sewell, the safety, first-team Missouri Valley Conference player, on a nice stop as he met Rainey on that right side.
And they like to move Sewell around. He's a playmaker, as you said, Sean. You see his instincts as he's playing up near the line of scrimmage. Sniffs it out.
Sewell from Western Springs, Illinois, 2-year starter, 3-time all-conference player for Indiana State. This is the 8th play of the drive for Western Kentucky. Eating up over 4 minutes off the game clock. A big 3rd down for the Hilltoppers. Ball marked right at the 20-yard line. 3-step drop. Jakes looks left, throws, passes caught, but tackled immediately at the 15-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain. Rainey again making the catch. A good one-on-one tackle. That's a scary sight to have Rainey out there, and you're the last line of defense between him and the end zone.
It is. Rainey in space is something that scares all defenders. Nice play by Ryan Roberts.
And now on 4th and short, Western Kentucky going for it. They tried to quick snap it, and it does not work. Indiana State comes up with a stop.
They tried to deke him with the quick snap, and they were prepared.
So the red zone woes continue for Western Kentucky. Let's take a look at it again.
And Rainey just simple dive coming downhill. And Ben Obaseki beats his blocker and makes a huge play on 4th down.
Obaseki is the leader of that front 4 for Indiana State, and he comes up with a big play. So Western Kentucky trying to get a little momentum. They roll the die and it backfires, and now here comes the Sycamore offense at the 15-yard line. Shakir Bell stood up at the line of scrimmage. Andrew Jackson, first one in there for WKU.
And that's a huge stop for the Indiana State defense. Coming back after a store, giving up some yards, but getting your offense the ball back to allow them to continue to push the ball downfield. We'll see.
Jackson is the leading tackler in the Sun Belt Conference through the first 2 weeks. 2nd down 10, the ball at the 16-yard line. Again, some late switching by the Sycamores.
An overload offensive set.
Bouch rolls out far side, has time, throws too tall. That time overshot Hilton. He was well covered. Deontay Young in on the coverage.
You've seen a lot of shifts and motions early from Indiana State. What that does to the defense, it makes them change their strength, makes them communicate well. A lot of times, if they don't, you'll end up with a busted coverage.
Indiana State 1 for 2 on 3rd downs in this opening period, looking at 3rd and 9 from the 17-yard line.
Another new formation.
See if the Hilltoppers come after him. Jackson, the middle linebacker. Here he comes on a delayed blitz. The throw incomplete. Hilton wanted a flag, not going to get one. And the Sycamores will be forced to punt.
That's 5 times now that Fouch has targeted the receiver to his right. They've been working on Darius Brooks, number 2. That time Brooks got the better of the matchup.
Indiana State's Santino Davis will now be punting near his goal line. Western Kentucky will get the football in great shape. Andrews awaiting the kick near midfield. Hilltoppers have 10 guys at the line of scrimmage. They're going to set up the return. Good spiraling kick. Drives Andrews back to his 30. Andrews slips to the 40 and then is cut down right at the 40-yard line.
You can see some of the athleticism that Antonio Andrews brings when he has the ball in his hands.
So now let's see who comes out at quarterback for Western Kentucky. Each quarterback has seen a series in this first quarter. Jakes was more effective as they took it inside the Sycamore 20. And it will be Jakes back out there. He has earned a second trip to try to guide this WKU team. They trail 7-0, 2:35 to go in the first period. At the 39-yard line, they give the ball to Jones, the fullback, and he is tripped at the line of scrimmage. Again, Sewell in on the play. It's a loss of a yard.
K'Wan Jones did have a nice drive before, and certainly if you see him in some sort of rhythm passing the ball, you don't want to break that. And the most difficult part about quarterback rotation is it's not natural to the position, and so much of it is rhythm and timing, and coming in and out of the game sometimes affects that.
And that's what it really looks like they're lacking, is any type of rhythm offensively through the first 2 weeks. Rainey on second down is chopped down at the line of scrimmage. Boy, Indiana State flying to the football early on in this one.
The front seven has won the battle up front thus far.
Aaron Archie, the middle linebacker, coming in with this last stop.
You see Rainey stop his feet in the hole, and that's just because he has no lane to cut back to. Nice play by Archie, and the Sycamores defense is fired up.
So third down for Western Kentucky. 3rd down and 8 at the 41-yard line. 2 receivers split left. This is Rainey on the draw, and again, nothing there over the middle, cut off.
And that play call right there shows you that Willie Taggart doesn't necessarily have enough confidence in their quarterback position to get the ball downfield on 3rd and 9.
Good series for Aaron Archie, a couple of stops. And again, it will be Brakefield on the punt for the 2nd time tonight. Brakefield with a line drive kick. Riston will let it bounce inside the 10, and this hops into the end zone for the touchback. So, Drew, you look at this first quarter, Indiana State has to be feeling pretty good right now, leading 7-0. The big strike offense with the passing to Hilton, but I've been impressed with their defense. They look quick on the defensive side of the football.
I totally agree with you, Sean. As nice as that touchdown drive was, I think what you take from the first quarter is the fact that the Indiana State front seven has been able to basically limit Rainey. And that was one thing they said this week, is he's going to get his yards. He's going to get, his 3 to 5 yards of rush sometimes, but they don't want to give up the big play.
From the 20-yard line, Ronnie Fouch and the Sycamores. Fouch will give it to Brock Lowe. Lowe with some tough running. Sycamore fans are used to seeing that. A flag comes in late. Lowe had 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards in the win against Butler last week. He's really one of Trent Miles' favorites in the locker room. Very versatile player. Gained 20 pounds. He came in as a freshman at 204 pounds. Hit the weight room really hard. Put on some muscle and now up at 225.
Illegal block, below the waist, number 2 on the offense. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
And that's a killer penalty right there on Riston. If you're a receiver on the outside of the formation, you can't block below the waist coming back inside towards the ball, and that's what he did there.
Trent Miles letting Riston know about it. So this will push it all the way back to the 12-yard line, 1st and 18.
So the first empty set of the day.
Might be the final play of the quarter for Fouch and the Sycamores. 5 receivers. Fouch looks right, little underneath pattern, and it is caught, I believe. Hilton near the side made the juggling catch, going out of bounds.
Again, Hilton, as you see him bobble it once, was able to stick it to his hand and get one put in. Nice accurate throw by Fouch, trying to get some of that back.
It's a short gain, and that's how the first quarter will end. Indiana State lets the clock run down. So the Sycamores behind a touchdown pass on top on the road. Indiana State with a 7-0 lead on Western Kentucky. Ronnie Fouch with the touchdown pass for the Sycamores. Willie Taggart knows he has some work cut out tonight. We'll see if he can regroup the Hilltoppers. 1 quarter in the books. Sycamores on top, 7-0 from Bowling Green. A beautiful sunset here in the hills of Kentucky. Indiana State on top, 7-0. Sean Kinney alongside Drew Henson, ESPN3's coverage of college football from the Commonwealth of Kentucky tonight. Indiana State, 2nd down and 15. The ball at the 15-yard line. Fouch from the shotgun. Throws toward the far side, dropped, incomplete. Hilton again the intended target.
And again, you see Fouch working to his right. Not sure whether he likes working the short side of the field or there's the specific matchup with Tyree Robinson.
Look at the numbers, and Indiana State dominating, 94 passing yards. Big number there. Bobby Rainey, 8 carries, 14 yards in the first half for Western Kentucky.
I'd say thus far, Indiana State's accomplished most of their goals they set out.
3rd down and 15, passing situation for the Sycamores. Western Kentucky brings the pressure. Pass lofted down the middle, and it's Jones, the tight end, nearly pulling off a juggling act as he had it swatted away at the last second.
Ronnie Fouts, after starting 4-5, is just 1 out of his last 5. An accurate throw down the middle, nearly a great catch by Jones.
Jones is a playmaker at tight end. 2nd team all-conference a year ago. Had 30 catches, over 500 yards. He's a very fast tight end, and that's where he gives the defense problems with his speed.
Just watching the Western Kentucky defense early on. Like to play that cover 2 shell, and the middle of the field is open to be attacked.
Here comes the pressure, and Davis barely got the kick away. Andrews fields at midfield. The dangerous Andrews trying to slip to the right side, but he is caught and tackled. Special teams coverage by Indiana State. With the coverage there, Demery Losh. It's a 35-yard punt for Santino Davis. All right, Drew, what does Western Kentucky need to do? Try to get some life into this offense. Great starting position.
Well, I think throwing the ball downfield, even taking a shot, doesn't hurt. Softens defense up a little bit, but really they need to get in third down and manageable. They've been in too many 3rd and longs, and you're not going to sustain drives if you're putting yourself in that position all night.
K'Wan Jakes out for his 3rd series. They open up on the Indiana State side of the field. Bobby Rainey, not much of a hole. Rainey skips ahead for a yard. Robertson on the stop from his strong side linebacker position.
If you're a Western Kentucky fan, you really want to see them capitalize on this great field position.
Look at the numbers. Jakes 3 for 3 throwing the football, 26 yards. Rainey, 8 carries, 14 yards in that first quarter. Jakes from the gun, zips it over the middle, pass is caught, 1st down, up ahead to the 30-yard line. 16-yard hookup. Rico Brown, the redshirt freshman, with the catch.
A nice throw and catch from Jakes to Brown. Jakes standing strong in the pocket, taking a good visual and throwing the ball with confidence. I like the way he's thrown the ball so far. Really done a nice job.
Kaywan Jakes and Brandon Doughty took equal number of reps all this week in practice, and Jakes has the hot hand right now for Western Kentucky. At the 30-yard line, Doyle in motion. Play fake by Jakes. Under pressure, the ball pops free, and it's recovered by Western Kentucky. Boy, he was sandwiched by the two ends from Indiana State.
Unfortunate. The right guard, Adam Smith, was there in the presence of mind to fall on it. As you said, a great rush by Ron Hardy. Able to get his hand on the ball and force the fumble. Force a 2nd and 18.
Hardy and Young will each get credit with that last sack. Lawrence Young, the massive down tackle, 290-pounders. 2nd and 18. Here is Andrews getting the call, and he has nowhere to go. Again at the line of scrimmage, cut off. Chased down by Jacoby Washington.
Again, Indiana State defense being strong up front.
Willie Taggart called out his offensive line this week. He was quite frank in our conversation, expecting more. This is an experienced group, and right now they are not winning the battle at the line of scrimmage.
No, they're not.
Another 3rd and long for WKU.
Again, looks like they're going to rush 3, drop 8.
Jakes looking, fires over the middle, too tall. He was trying to hit Doyle as tight end. Would not have been enough for a first down, and after a promising start, the sack takes Western Kentucky out of position, and the Hilltoppers force the punt again.
You hate to see that type of field position go to waste. Again, Western Kentucky just not able to establish anything, shooting themselves in the foot with their own mistakes.
We'll see if Brakefield can pin the Sycamores deep. Riston set to return. He awaits the kick at his 10-yard line. Penalty markers come flying in, and they're going to blow this play dead. And for Brakefield, he's happy. Not a real good kick there, so he was happy to hear the whistle.
We'll take
Before
the
the snap, false start, 93, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
It's like my sand wedge.
Mine never get that high.
Well, when I decelerate.
Quantera Smith, the guilty party for Western Kentucky, so this actually might benefit Brakefield. He might cut it loose a little bit more now with 5 more yards to work with. Trying to angle it toward the right side. Ball will bounce near the 20, take a Sycamore hop, and quickly Western Kentucky touches it dead at the 24-yard line. It's only a 19-yard punt by Hendricks Brakefield. We're early first half from Bowling Green tonight. Indiana State from the Missouri Valley Conference on top, 7-0. Our last full weekend of summer as we make the transition into fall. Some of the students enjoying the whiteout. These guys took it literally tonight. They were passing out 19,000 white shirts, and these guys look like they put on some white paint in their dorm rooms
Spent
tonight.
all afternoon mixing the paint together.
That's pretty good. I like it. Here comes Indiana State as they get set for their 5th possession of the night. It's been feast or famine for the Sycamores so far. Fouch on a play fake, getting pursued, throws underneath, minimal gain. He's running for his life as he hit Brock Lowe out of the backfield. Pick up about a yard. You look at the Sycamore drives, 6 plays, 10 yards and a punt. The 2-play, 84-yard drive that resulted in points. The long 70-yard pass to Hilton, then the touchdown to Justin Hilton. Since then, 3 and outs on their last 2 drives.
You know, the driver they scored the touchdown, they came out at aggressive. And they did that this drive too, throwing on first down.
Fouch on a give, and Andrew Jackson completely leveled Shakir Bell. Jackson, the hard hitter, the headhunter in the middle of that Western Kentucky defense.
Oh, and Jackson just bringing the wood right here. Wow, great hit. You can tell Willie Taggart thinks a lot of this linebacker, by the way. He was talking about him this week.
Jackson's only a sophomore out of Lakeland, Florida. 3rd down situation for Indiana State. 3rd and 10 from the 26. Fouch under distress, and down he goes. The Hilltoppers get him.
Quanterius Smith. Ronnie Fouch knew by his second hitch in the pocket that he didn't have anything. You'd like to find your check down, but it looks like Shakir Bell was in the block as well.
It's a loss of 4. Quanterius Smith, the junior, third-team All-Sun Belt player from a season ago. Here's the kick, and it's off the side of his foot. Not a good kick by Santino Davis, and for the second straight series, Western Kentucky will open up on the Indiana State side of the field. It's a 20-yard punt by Davis. So Trent Miles realizing he is losing the field position battle here in the last couple of sequences.
He is, and their defense has been stout and stood up when they had to, but you can only give Western Kentucky, or any team for that matter, this type of field position for so long before they capitalize.
Mentioned Western Kentucky leads this all-time series. This Indiana State defense trying to change that. They came in with some question marks, but tonight they have been salty. 62 yards offense for Western Kentucky. 9:35 to go until halftime.
And I'd love to see Western Kentucky throw it on first down and come back and run it on second, because they're loading up the box early in the downs, and Rainey just doesn't have any room.
Rod Hardy has been a factor, the down tackle for Indiana State, number 76. Keep an eye on him. We have called his name frequently in this first half. 2nd down and 7 for the Hilltoppers. Jakes pumps, now redelivers, then the pass nearly caught, then nearly intercepted. Sewell had his hands on it. Vasquez had it hit his shoulder pad, and nearly disaster for Western Kentucky.
We talked about Vasquez having the case of the drops early in the season. This is an accurate throw by Jakes. As a receiver, you're going to get hit regardless, so you might as well catch it.
Calvin Burnett with the tight coverage, and then you see Sewell pounding the turf. That's one he normally hauls in.
Zach Azzani made a point to say this week, the receivers need to step up. One of them, two of them need to step up and make plays for him.
Sycamore show blitz. Here they come. They run the draw to Rainey. Rainey to the 40. Nice cutback. Bobby Rainey up ahead. Close to a first down from this angle. He should have enough. He picks up 9 yards, and the Hilltoppers convert on 3rd down.
Great individual effort by Bobby Rainey there. Nice job of finding the hole, getting his balance back, and knowing where that first down stick is. Putting his head down and getting those final 2 yards.
That is Western Kentucky's 5th first down. The Hilltoppers at the 32-yard line. This is Andrews getting the call. Antonio Andrews runs ahead to the 30. Pushing after the play. Jones and Roberts exchanging pleasantries.
Sean, this Indiana State defense is basically playing Rico Brown or the receiver one-on-one on first down every time. Anytime they want to take that shot, they have a matchup that they should like.
Yeah, they haven't thrown the ball deep yet. Everything has been within that 15-yard pattern. We've seen Doyle over the middle. He's been their deepest target in this first half. 2nd down, 8. Pass out to the sideline. It's caught by Vasquez. Near a first down, about a yard shy. Marcus Vasquez with the catches. 2nd reception of the game, 7-yard haul-in.
3rd and 1s are obviously much easier to convert than 3rd and 7s and 8, but just executing, staying on schedule, that's what you have to do to be able to sustain drives.
Western Kentucky has got to take advantage of this field position. Their average starting drive has been their own 45-yard line. No points to show for it. And again, they're sniffing that red zone one more time late in the first half. 7:37 to go. And now a timeout taken. Willie Taggart taking the timeout for the Hilltoppers. He saw something he did not like, so he wants to regroup his team over on the far side. This has to be frustrating for Taggart. He was an explosive quarterback at Western Kentucky, just one of 4 players to have his jersey retired. In fact, Bobby Rainey is chasing his head coach up that rushing chart. Taggart, the number 2 rusher, in Western Kentucky history, but he's hoping Rainey gets it started soon. Hilltoppers have it 3rd and short when we come back. 7-0 Indiana State on top. $7-0 Indiana State on top. 7.5 to go until halftime. A big 3rd and short for Western Kentucky. And it's Bobby Rainey, and I don't know. Rainey stood up at the line of scrimmage and again drew. It is Rod Hardy. What a disruptive force here in the first half.
He is. He's been a space eater inside. They haven't been able to move him off the ball once. And again, that play call surprises me. Rainey being such a good athlete and so good in space. That's the second time on third and short here and 4th and short previously. They've run basically a dive right up the middle.
Western Kentucky failed on the 4th down earlier. Let's see what Willie Taggart decides to do on this situation. This would be about a 40-yard field goal, and they are going to send out the kicking unit. Casey Tenius on the season, 1 for 3. He hit a 41-yarder against Kentucky. Placement down, kick on the way, and he hooks it through. Casey Tenius gets the Hilltoppers on the board. It's a 41-yard boot. And Indiana State leads now 7-3.
Even though it's only a 25-yard drive, essentially, they needed to get on the board one way or another. So I think that was the right call there on 4th down.
Tenius is a homegrown product out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. The 6-foot senior delivers the long field goal to get the Hilltoppers on the board, and turns out to be a wise decision by Coach Taggart. Get the points, and Tenius delivers.
Yeah, he basically failed on the last 2 short yardage situations anyways, and be demoralizing to go for there on 4th and miss it again. Both teams have been struggling to find the rhythm this first half. See if Fouch can come back this next drive and find a little magic.
7 plays, 20 yards. It's Tenius with the 40-yard field goal to get the Hilltoppers on the board. So as Drew mentioned, not a lot of yards, but again, that field position finally pays off for WKU. They take advantage of it, and they settle for the field goal. Very dangerous return man. Leonard Riston awaits the kick. He had a long return for a touchdown last week against Butler. Kick away by Jesse Roy. This is angled toward the far side, and it will go out of bounds for the penalty.
A smart decision by Roy to let that bounce.
So this will come on out to the 40-yard line for Indiana State. And you mentioned it, Ronnie Fouch has got to crank it up now. He has been quiet the last few series, try to revive this Sycamore offense. 7-3. 6:45 to go first half.
And a lot of that has to do with the play calling and being aggressive and putting the quarterback in a position where he can throw on first down a little bit and really test this secondary. They've had success throwing it downfield when they've tried.
Ronnie Fouch, 6 of 11 early on throwing the football, 96 yards and a touchdown. 70 of those came on one play. They open up the drive at the 40-yard line. Tight formation. Shakir Bell gets the call. Bell snowed under at the 44. Andrew Jackson leading the way.
We've called Jackson's name a few times already, but he really is something that's been all over the field.
Shakir Bell, Indianapolis, Indiana native. He set a 5A Indiana State record his senior year at Warren Central. 3,100 yards on the ground. He's third in the nation. He has talent. He's the top returner back after the graduation of Darius Gates from a year ago. There's a tough catch made by Spencer as he hauls it in and is brought down, first down yardage. Again, the Michigan State transfer hauling that pass in. Donald Spencer, 9 yards.
Nice catch by Donald Spencer. Ball was thrown slightly behind him, was able to adjust his hips and shoulders in the air and convert the first down.
Spencer brings another dimension. He takes a lot of the pressure off Justin Hilton. We mentioned how he did not play against Penn State, but when he's on the field, he is a weapon, and Fouch looks to him often. First down give. Bell with some room into the secondary. Shakir Bell. A foot race to the corner. Touchdown. Shakir Bell, 46 yards. And the Sycamores respond.
All 5'7", 170 pounds of him. Make the first man miss. Take it the distance. Real nice blocking downfield by Spencer as well, I must add.
So Corey Little on to add the point after. Little splits the uprights. Shakir Bell with the long touchdown run. His first touchdown of the year. So the Hilltoppers in some trouble at home. It's Indiana State's big play offense. This time, the ground game. Shakir Bell, 46-yard score. Sycamores on top. Shakir Bell with the touchdown run for Indiana State. All congratulations on the Sycamore sideline. 14-3, Indiana State on top. So now Western Kentucky in front of this large home crowd. Again, we mentioned trying to snap a 16-game losing skid here at Houchin-Smith Stadium, and tonight was a night they had penciled in. They're going to have to play catch-up. 3 plays, 60-yard drive, 46-yard touchdown run by Bell. 14-3 Sycamores. They continue to kick it away from Andrews. Robinson picks it up at the 10. Robinson caught around the ankle at the 23-yard line. 13-yard return. Let's go back to that touchdown run by Bell and a key block thrown early in the play.
As you see, number 88, Michael Martis, in the backfield as a lead blocker, taking on Andrew Jackson, punching him right in the mouth, literally. And as Bell gets to the second level, he bounces off would-be tackler Keontae Young and then does the rest himself. Great execution on all ends.
K'Wan Jakes and the Hilltoppers now in their largest deficit of the night. Western Kentucky offense, their ground game has been bottled up. Can they find a way to break up Bobby Rainey, get him going? Jakes on a keeper over the right tackle. Skids ahead to the 26. Good yardage, 5 yards on first down by K'Wan Jakes.
The first time Jakes has run the ball himself, and I think the Western Kentucky here needs to get a little more creative, and that's part of it.
Approaching the 5-minute mark of the second quarter, WKU with 2 timeouts.
They need to get points before half.
Out of the I formation, Rainey gets the call following a Nick Bosch lead block. Rainey lost his footing. As he got ready to make a cut, he went down. Mentioned Nick Bosch, the fullback on that play, 5'11 sophomore. We talked with Zach Kazani, the offensive coordinator this week, really happy with the physical play of Bosch, and you see him clearing some space.
He said he loves contact, loves to hit anybody, and that's exactly what you need from a fullback.
He is your prototypical blocking fullback, no doubt about it. Here we go, another third down for Western Kentucky. They have struggled 1 of 6 on third downs tonight. Jakes looks over the middle, nothing there. Rotates left, throws on the run, pass caught at the 39-yard line. Rico Brown coming back to his quarterback. First down, WKU, pickup of 11.
Really pretty good coverage initially by the Indiana State defense. You have to give K'Wan Jakes credit. Goes through his progression, doesn't see anyone, buys himself time, and makes a nice athletic throw. It's a huge conversion for them.
Jakes had Obaseki breathing down his neck when he threw that football. So a big third down conversion for Western Kentucky as they try to get points before halftime. Bobby Rainey on first down, met in the backfield and thrown for a loss. Loss of a yard, penetration from Larry King, the hard-hitting strong safety.
You could see this first half, both safeties from Indiana State like to play up near the line, like to use their instincts. And that 8th defender is really what's keeping Rainey from having space to work.
You keep mentioning that Western Kentucky not throwing the ball deep, and those safeties just continue to creep up, don't they?
They do. On first down, they basically shown the same defensive front this whole game.
Indiana State brings the package. They're blitzing. Jakes throws, has a man there. It's the tight end Doyle, and he drags the feet. First down. They picked up the blitz. Doyle hauls it in, 17 yards.
It worked once, run it again. Did in the first quarter. This time Jakes makes an even better throw. Gets his head around, just has to get the ball out of his hands. It's right on target. Great throw.
Western Kentucky, again, they have 2 timeouts. Inside 3 minutes to go in the first half. They run the draw to Rainey. Check that, Andrews, the ball carrier. He's giving ground, and he squirts up back to the 45. Still ended up losing a couple of yards.
This defensive line from Indiana State does a nice job of working down the line of scrimmage as they run these stretch plays, not giving either Rainey or Andrews that cutback lane allows the linebackers to come over and fill.
Garrison McElroy, you saw a shot of Rod Hardy, Lawrence Young, Tyler Boyd. Those guys are doing the job up front for Indiana State. 2 minutes to go, first half, 2nd and 12, Hilltoppers. And now it looks like time has been called. Sycamores are going to take a timeout. So 2nd and 12 when play resumes. 2:02 to go until halftime. 14-3. Indiana State on top. We do have an injury update while we have some time, and we have good news, Drew. On the opening kickoff, we saw George Cheeseborough get injured. We have word that he has feeling in all extremities. He never lost consciousness. And right now, tests are being conducted at the nearby Bowling Green Hospital. So certainly a scary sight when you saw the stretcher and the ambulance in the opening kickoff. But certainly good news. Feeling in all extremities, never lost consciousness. And again, tests are being conducted right now at the hospital. So you can bet that word is probably spread to his teammates in the dark black below us. And certainly a sigh of relief from those guys.
Definite sigh of relief and good news. Good news on that end. It's interesting, they never told us exactly what they think the diagnosis is, but that's certainly great news.
2nd down and 12 for Western Kentucky after the timeout. See if Jake can dial something up. Has a man open over the middle. Again, the tight end finding some space. Doyle makes the catch up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards in the completion, bringing up a 3rd and short.
This has been the best drive thus far for the Western Kentucky offense and K'Wan Jakes. 3 for 3 on this drive. He's finding Jack Doyle as tight end number 82. He looks comfortable knowing where his tight end's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep trying to work that matchup with him and the linebackers.
Jack Doyle, 3 catches, 42 yards for the Hilltoppers. 8th play of the drive, 3rd down and 2. Clock moving. Jakes in a rollout, throws underneath, first down. They needed 2, they pick up 4. Little sideline pattern, the speedster, Bo Brand with the catch.
First time we called Bo Brand's name today. Freshman, 6 foot, 144 pounds he's listed at.
He certainly looks the part, doesn't he? Brand is a highly touted freshman, true freshman out of Bradenton, Florida. Had over 2,000 receiving yards his senior year in high school for Southeastern School in Florida. He is a playmaker, one of those guys that they're counting on heavily this season. Fresh set of downs, they go to Doyle, who's been busy. This time he tiptoes down the right sideline, pushed out of bounds by Larry King. 6 more yards as they nickel and dime their way downfield. 52 seconds to go.
You can see the confidence of K'Wan Jakes just growing and growing throughout this drive. He's 5 for 5 now. And his decisions have been decisive and on time.
Jakes very quietly having a productive first half. 9 of 11, 95 yards. Very efficient. 2nd and 3 from the 20. Play fake by Jakes. Here comes pressure. Steps up. He has room to run. 15-10. There is a marker down as Jakes crumbles ahead to the 4. But again, a marker down in the Western Kentucky backfield.
What a
2nd down.
And what a killer penalty. You talk about Western Kentucky trying to get on track, and if it's not one thing, it's another. You got a 25-yard run by Jakes, brought back, and just when it looked like they're going to have a chance to punch it in, got some more work to do.
For the most part, it's been a pretty well-played game. Indiana State had a couple of those penalties happen inside the red zone, but they did not come back to haunt them because the Sycamores still scored on that series. But that one does hurt Western Kentucky.
And Wes Jeffries, number 77, their all-conference left tackle.
Again, it's these little mistakes. When an offense is struggling to find the end zone, it just seems like everything gets magnified. But these penalties that take away opportunities, you cannot have them simply because this offense has not had a lot of opportunities to score.
They don't have a huge margin for error, and that's one of the most frustrating things a head coach can try to deal with is it's nothing that the defense is doing to you, it's what you're doing to yourself.
Like a face mask on Jeffries, 15-yard. Here comes the blitz. They run the draw to Rainey. He slips free to the 30. Bobby Rainey to the 23. You can just kind of hear the pulse pick up with the crowd anytime Rainey touches the ball. Again, Western Kentucky with 2 timeouts. Clock moving, 20 seconds to go. 3rd down and 5. Shotgun Jakes over the middle, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Sycamores. Down the far side. A cut back to the middle. 20. He's going to return it all the way for the touchdown. Larry Carter for Indiana State with 2 seconds to go. And Sycamore Nation going nuts.
Geez, you talk about a 14-point swing right there before the half. West Kentucky, 2 plays ago on the verge of scoring a touchdown, and just the ultimate killer mistake by a quarterback.
There is a flag along the far
10
side.
yards from the spot of the foul. Indiana State football, first down.
There is a flag on the far side. It's a hold against Indiana State on the return, so wipe out the touchdown, which is big news for Western Kentucky. And now with only 2 seconds, Indiana State will have to send out the field goal unit.
I don't know if Western Kentucky caught a break there or not, but again, we're praising Jakes at quarterback today, and you know that's what makes playing that position tough. You can have a great first half, and one decision at the end can really cost you.
This will be a 43-yard field goal for Corey Little. He missed from 43 back in week 1, his only attempt of the season. This click has plenty of leg, and he splits the uprights. Good.
Well, what way to finish the half. Indiana State picking up some more momentum going into the tunnel.
You hear the disbelief from the Hilltopper fans here in Bowling Green as the teams head to the locker room. Indiana State shocking Western Kentucky 17-3 for Corey Little, a career-long 43-yard field goal to give the Sycamores momentum at halftime. Indiana State looking to knock off an FBS team for the first time since 2001. They're looking pretty good so far. Ronnie Fouch has thrown for a touchdown. Shakir Bell has run for 1, and now the defense chips in with 3. Sycamores on top, 17-3 at the break. Welcome back to Bowling Green, Kentucky as we get set to start the second half. Indiana State, some might call this a shocker. Indiana State, an FCS school, right now on top of Western Kentucky, an FBS squad by a score of 17-3. Late field goal before halftime, extending that to a 2-touchdown lead. The only turnover of the night, costing Western Kentucky 3 points. And now let's see if Willie Taggart has caught the attention of his team as we start quarter number 3 on a beautiful night from Bowling Green. This will be Tyree Robinson at the 10, and he is decked at the 21-yard line. Cameron Mitchell, the first one to hit him. So Indiana State starts the second half where they left off, and that's some hard-hitting physical football.
They really did dominate both sides of the ball in the first half, the Sycamores did. Grabbing some extra momentum with a field goal to end the half. And there you see Brandon Doughty on the sidelines after injuring his left knee on his one and only drive of the game.
Yeah, Brandon Doughty making his first start for Western Kentucky. He started the opening series on a third down play. He apparently injured a knee, so he is out of uniform, and he is done for the night. There was a penalty on that play, offsides on the kicking team, Indiana State, so Western Kentucky is going to make them re-kick it. Let's go back to that injury, Drew.
And Doughty trying to make something happen on third down, trying to get to the sticks, and takes a big hit from Calvin Burnett on the sidelines, and his left knee just gives. We didn't realize it at the time, but he was done right there.
So now Doughty forced to play the role of the cheerleader, and K'Wan Jakes played a pretty good first half. The one mistake late for Jakes, and unfortunately for him, that's going to have been the story of the first 3 weeks, the interception. His
Achilles heel has just been turning the ball over at inopportune times. And just going back to Doughty, you got to feel for the kid. His first collegiate start, first drive, excited, a lot of emotions, trying to make something happen, and suddenly you're done for who knows how long.
Indiana State has done a good job keeping the ball away from Antonio Andrews. Dangerous, electrifying return man wearing number 5 for Western Kentucky.
You got to think Willie Taggart wants to get the ball in Andrews' hands more this half as well.
So we're underway for a second time here from Bowling Green. Andrews will get the touch this time. Andrews straight up the middle again, hit hard, shy of the 25-yard line. So return of 19 yards. Let's go back to the first half, Drew. Some of the key plays. Bobby Rainey had a tough time finding room.
He really did, Kenny, and this is probably the only play where he got any room to run. It's been held in check most of the night. Here, Jake's 1 of 2, nice deep outs to his tight end, Jake Doyle, and of course the interception. Well, you can't throw a slant late, and he obviously just did not see Larry Carter, number 8, in the passing lane.
Yeah, that last interception setting up the field goal before halftime. So a fresh start for Western Kentucky. Opening play, they give it to Bobby Rainey. Good yardage for Rainey across the 30 up to the 32-yard line.
They're really going to need a productive half from Rainey if they want to get back in this game.
Rainey 15 carries, 39 yards. In the first 2 games, Rainey was averaging 4.8 per carry, close to 5 yards a rush, but not the case tonight. Just 2.6 yards per carry for the third leading rusher from a year ago.
That was a productive first down, which is a great way to start their drive.
Rainey picks up first down yardage. Ahead to the 35 to the 37-yard line, yanked down by Larry King and Rod Hardy.
Hey, Sean, let's check and see also if they change the mentality this next half offensively on first down.
You look at the numbers, the one that jumps out at me, time of possession. Western Kentucky over 20 minutes of the game clock. Indiana State relying on the big play. So a 2-1 edge for the Hilltoppers in time of possession. First down play, quick throw out to the flat, and a catch is made. And it's Rainey. They've been flanking Rainey out to the sides tonight, trying to get him the ball in open space.
Trying to move him around, their best player, trying to get him out as many touches as they can. And going back to that time of possession stat, come fourth quarter, if this game is close again, you may see the Sycamore defense starting to be affected by that.
Bobby Rainey with his 3rd catch of the night. Second down for the Hilltoppers. The ball just past the 40-yard line. They sweep it right side. This is Andrews with some room. He busts into the secondary, lost the football. It's still free. Let's see. A massive pile of humanity as players are getting ripped apart from the pile, and let's see who ends up with it. Still no word. Indiana State football. The Sycamores recover, and again, it's Larry Carter coming away with the turnover for Indiana State.
Larry Carter playing big. the senior corner, Chris Carter's first cousin, making his older cousin proud. And as you see, Andrews just taking the hit and the ball coming loose. Luis Polanco, number 63, trying to get on the ball. Ends up popping out and it is underneath him, and Carter digs it out, fighting for it.
They are going to take a look upstairs at this one.
Of a fumble recovered by Indiana State University is under further review.
So they will take a look at the fumble by Andrews.
And again, mistakes by this Western Kentucky offense. Really nice first 5 plays of this drive. Moving the ball, having good tempo, and then something like this happens.
Let's take a look here. You see Scott come in.
Yeah, the ball is clearly out.
Larry King and Scott. It was King's hand that poked it free. Polanco had a chance to get on it. And then let's give some credit to Larry Carter. He is messing with about 700 pounds there of Hilltopper beef, and somehow he was able to get in between Polanco and Smith and get that football.
I mean, it's such a huge cliche to say he wanted it more, but that is an example where he wasn't coming out of that pile without it. Really, Polanco should have fallen on the ball, and it squirts loose just enough for Carter to get a hand, maybe 2 on it, and dig it out at the bottom of the pile.
Western Kentucky.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. A fumble, first down.
So just as we expected, the play stands, and Indiana State gets an early turnover. Western Kentucky began the night with the second most turnovers in the country. Only Notre Dame had more, and Willie Taggart's frustrations continue. 2 more cough-ups for the Hilltopper offense.
Just as they were just starting to develop some rhythm on offense, especially.
Shakir Bell will open up the second half as the tailback. He gets the call. Not much room for Bell to work. Looked like the ball might have popped free for a second, but he gets it back. Bell near midfield, gets 3 yards.
As we look to the second half, talking about Ronnie Fouch, he's done pretty much everything they've asked him to do. He's been accurate with his deep balls and hasn't made any huge mistakes.
Such an efficient passer, a smart player, one of those quarterbacks that coaches love. He seems to always make the right decision.
They can do a lot of things with him. Running with multiple plays at the line, making checks, getting the offense in the right positions. He does a lot for him.
Pitch it right side to Bell. He has first down yardage and more. Shakir Bell using some of the speed. A marker comes in toward the end of the play as Bell is escorted out of bounds inside the 40, but again, a late marker downfield.
Holding, number 19 on the offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Justin Hilton, the receiver. Too much jersey trying to throw a block downfield.
Here Bell again the second half off to a good start. Look at that hole he has to run through. Isn't touched though, 15, 20 yards downfield. You got to appreciate the effort by Justin Hilton. You can't get your arms outside your body frame.
So that'll be a spot foul from the point of infraction. So after the penalty, Indiana State will have its second down and 5 at the Hilltopper 48-yard line, and now we have another stoppage. It's like the chain gang confused on the downs.
A correction on the down mark is second down. Second down.
So second down, as we stated, coming up for Indiana State. Well, what must be going through Trent Miles' head right now? A lot of excitement, I imagine. This would be a huge win for the Sycamore program, but we have lots of football to go. Second down play, Shakir Bell is swallowed up and thrown down for a massive loss. Pursuit defense by Western Kentucky.
Bo Adebayo, first one to make contact in the backfield. Best penetration the Hilltoppers defense has had thus far tonight.
Xavier Boyd, Andrew Jackson, Adebayo, all in there for the Hilltoppers.
Jackson was in first.
Xavier Boyd coming off his best game as a Hilltopper last week against Navy. Had a career high 14 tackles against the midshipmen. Big play coming up in this game early in the third quarter, 3rd down and 11. Fouch from the shotgun, has time, throws, pass caught out of the backfield near the 40-yard line. This will be close to a first down. Going to depend on the spot. It looks like they should have enough, Drew, on the little sideline route.
Tight end Michael Martis, the 3rd receiver, just his outlet receiver. Ronnie Fouch just sees the whole secondary get depth, goes through his progression, takes his receiver, but gives him time to get upfield and get that first down.
Darius Brooks gave him too much room. Pick up a 13 yards on 3rd and 12. Indiana State, 1st and 10 from the 40. Shakir Bell the call. Looks like maybe a face mask. Here comes the marker as Bell is tripped up at the 38, but one of the Hilltoppers got a hand up in the face mask area of Bell.
Looks like Ryan Beard coming in trying to make the tackle.
Personal foul, face mask, number 15 on the defense. 15-yard penalty tacked on to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Let's take a look at the face mask trying to slow down Bell.
Bell is tough to bring down. Beard just gets his hand up higher than he'd like to. But in that part of the field, 15 yards, it goes a long way.
3rd penalty on the Hilltoppers for 36 yards. Indiana State, 6 penalties tonight. But this one a big one. It has the Sycamores in scoring position at the 22-yard line after the 15-yard personal foul. Offset I formation of Brock Lowe and Fouch, and now a marker.
False start, number 56. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Justin Wood, the left tackle, creeping out of his stance.
You know, Sean, they're getting to the point, if they can score a touchdown this drive, make it a 3-score game. The way Western Kentucky's offense has been going this year, that was a huge challenge.
I think that look says it all right now if you're a Hilltopper fan. 1st and 15, the ball back at the 27. Quick drop, Fouch pumps, wants the home run. Hilton's there, touchdown!
Perfect execution. You're wondering where they're going to try to get Hilton deep again, like they did in the first quarter. Ronnie Fouch with a great pump fake on the slant and go, as we'll see on this replay coming up.
Justin Hilton with his 2nd touchdown catch of the night. The playmaker from Kissimmee, Florida, with his 2nd touchdown grab. Corey Little adds the point after, and Indiana State right now taking it to the Hilltoppers from Western Kentucky. 24-3, Sycamores with the lead early in the 3rd quarter, and we heard about this combination all week. Ronnie Fouch to Justin Hilton. Well, the two have worked their magic again. 2nd touchdown catch for Hilton. Sycamores lead. Justin Hilton with his 2nd touchdown catch of the night. 4 grabs, 114 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the senior leader of this Indiana State squad at the split end position. And beautiful catch, beautiful throw from Ronnie Fouch, and Indiana State looking good. 24-3, they have the advantage over Western Kentucky, and this is not really an offense designed to come from behind, Drew.
No, it's not. It's a run-first offense, pounding the ball.
This will be Tyree Robinson inside his 10. Robinson straight up the middle, and he is cut down shy of the 20-yard line. A host of Sycamores, and they are breathing fire right now. You can just see the pendulum of momentum all on the side of Indiana State. The boys from Terre Haute having a good time here in Kentucky tonight.
And the kickoff coverage team's been awesome tonight.
So now if you're Willie Taggart, Zach Azani, what do? 6-play, 53-yard drive. Again, points off turnovers for Indiana State. They have capitalized on the 2 turnovers by Western Kentucky. 10 points off turnovers. Hilton with the touchdown catch.
You really have to go into hurry-up mode right now. You have to change your mindset as an offense.
Jakes on a play fake. Rolls out has some room to run. He will tiptoe down the left sideline and step out of bounds. Well, bootleg action, nobody home downfield, so he took it up for positive yardage.
Good first down play. But being down 3 scores in the way, they've struggled to get the ball in the end zone. Even though it's just the beginning of the third quarter, I think you have to look at it like they need to go now.
Second down and 5 at the 23. Rainey gets the call, and a familiar sight. He has black jerseys all around him. Bobby Rainey hit by Ryan Roberts. Ken Obaseki in on the stop as well. Obaseki, first team all-conference Missouri Valley player from a year ago, crashing down the line.
This Western Kentucky offensive line is just being manhandled all evening, unable to get any sort of push.
Did you see Alex Sewell in there, Drew? Again, the safeties just creeping up. They are making somebody other than Bobby Rainey beat them tonight.
They have no conscience in the back end, and they haven't been tested.
Western Kentucky has struggled on third downs tonight. Rainey leaves the backfield in motion, 3rd down and 6. Throw over the middle, it's caught, but shy of a first down. Bo Brand with the catch, but he is shy of the first down. Situation where the receiver needs to know where that first down marker is.
Where the receiver needs, you have to catch the ball for a first down. That's the first thing you tell the receivers. Do what you have to do. When you deliver the ball, you have to be past the first down marker. And a nice job by Larry King, number 44, of understanding that as well and coming up and making the tackle short.
Hendricks Brakefield on the punt. This will be his 18th punt of the year. Way too many, only 2.5 games in. Leonard Biston makes the catch at the 32, and he is smacked right there. Good special teams coverage. First one downfield for the Hilltoppers, Quantera Smith. It's a 43-yard punt by Brakefield. And now if there's ever a time for the Western Kentucky defense to come up with a play, they need to now. They have their backs against the wall. Indiana State 24-3. Sycamores on top. Welcome back to Bowling Green, Kentucky, on the campus of Western Kentucky University. The hometown Hilltoppers in some trouble. Indiana State starts this drive on top, 24-3. First down give is to Shakir Bell, and Western Kentucky pursues him well as they cut off the corner.
Indiana State offensively has a luxury of being able to pound it a little bit on the ground and take some time if they'd like as well. They've been successful at running the ball. Smelling this wind 22 minutes away, you can subtly start to milk that a little bit.
Western Kentucky rotating some bodies up front. Ramel Lewis and Kenny Martin, 2 junior tackles in there trying to slow down the middle of this Indiana State offense. Second down play, and they sweep it right side to Bell. Shakir Bell up to the 34-yard line. Again, really, Indiana State has not marched the ball down the field against Western Kentucky. They've relied on the big play tonight.
Yeah, they haven't had that 6, 7, 8 first down drive. They've used their explosive plays. No. Doesn't matter how you do it as long as you do it.
Trent Miles in his 4th year of guiding this Sycamore program, and what a job he has done. 6-5 last year, the school's first winning season since 1996, named the Missouri Valley Coach of the Year, looking to pull off an upset tonight. 3rd down for Fouch. Over the middle, pass is juggled and caught. A foot race down to the 26-yard line. A juggling catch made by Ednut Egbirongbe. And again, a big play. Strike offense, 39 yards to the senior from Queens, New York.
What a name, Ednut Egbirongbe. Just a simple spacing route. Indiana State, a nice catch, but really just poor tackling by the secondary of Western Kentucky.
Keontae Young went flying on the screen. He was looking to decapitate Egbirongbe, and he completely missed him, and it ended up being good yardage for the senior. Indiana State, first down, play fake there, going for the juggler, and the pass ball's incomplete. Good idea. They had a man out there, but a rare misfire by Ronnie Fouch.
Yeah, really his first ball has been off target from what I can remember, and another great play call. The flat route turned into the wheel, and they really had exactly what they wanted.
We have an injury on the near side, and it's the receiver who we just talked about, Ednut Egbirongbe, who is down on the turf. You hate to see this if you're a Sycamore fan. Egbirongbe missed part of last season with an injury. In fact, he did not go home to Queens, New York, and the last time he has seen his family was Thanksgiving of last year. He spent so much time in the training room trying to bounce back from a leg injury. First time he saw them was week 1 at Penn State. Dedicated receiver down on the turf right now for Indiana State. Sycamore's in control, looking for more. 24-3, Indiana State on top. Back with more from Bowling Green after this. You see them working on Ednut Egbirongbe. He was injured away from the action. Looked like they're working on a left knee or left leg, so we'll keep an eye on him. Back to action, 2nd and 10 for the Sycamores at the 27-yard line. They give it to Shakir Bell. Little delayed action by Bell. Stop and go type motion. Gets him up to the 22-yard line.
Good job to get anything positive out of that. There wasn't much room there when you received the handoff. This has been the area of the field where Indiana State has liked to take their shots, just like last drive with the slant and go. See if they push the ball downfield here.
We'll keep an eye on number 19, Justin Hilton. He split to the top of the field. 3rd down and 7 from the 23. Fouch looks left, now looks Hilton's direction, throws it up for grabs toward the corner of the end zone, incomplete.
And they went back to another double move, the slant and go as well. This time Tyree Robinson played the play well.
So Western Kentucky forces the field goal attempt. Corey Little coming out. He connected from 40 yards out right before halftime. This will be a 42-yard attempt from the right hash. Placement down, kick on the way, and it is good again. Corey Little 2 for 2 on field goals, a 42-yarder, and the Sycamores up the ante, 27-3, Indiana State.
I don't know if you'd call this shocking, but it's certainly been a one-sided evening. Indiana State dominating on both sides of the ball.
You have to go all the way back to 2001, the last time Indiana State defeated an FBS program, and that was Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan out of the MAC, 21-14, and 13 straight losses to FBS programs, but Trent Miles' bunch has certainly put themselves in an excellent position to finish the job tonight. Still lots of time, 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, but a 27-3 Sycamore lead. And you heard Willie Taggart talking about it. He felt that his team would not overlook the Sycamore squad. After all, Western Kentucky was 0-2. Indiana State has the 1 win, so I don't think it's a case of that. I just think maybe the more hungrier team in executing the Sycamores in this ball game tonight.
Exactly right, Sean. Execution and mistakes. Executing on one side and mistakes on the other, and you get a score like this.
7 plays, 46 yards on that last drive. Little with the 42-yard field goal. He's connected from 42 and 40 tonight. Low line drive kick. Andrews will get an opportunity. And he is hit at the 23-yard line. They are flying to the football. Ryan Roberts and Alex Jones in on that stop for Indiana State.
Now, that was another 40-yard free run at the kick returner by Roberts. They have not been able to put a hat on their kickoff returns.
K'Wan Jakes leads the Western Kentucky offense back onto the field. The Hilltoppers with only 2 touchdowns on the season. Both last week against Navy, and now they trail by 24 as they open up at the 23-yard line. Straight drop Drakes. And a timing route, and Jamariel Brown not ready for it as it goes whipping by his right shoulder, incomplete.
And the timing just off again. Jakes is ready to throw the ball and has to release it on his timing, and Brown just not out of his break yet.
Rainey way below his season average, 18 carries, 51 yards. Remember, He's looking to eclipse the 100-yard mark for the 8th straight game, which would tie him with Antoine Floyd for a Western Kentucky record. Throw over the middle in heavy traffic, and the pass is caught at the 40-yard line as Jakes threads the needle. Bo Brand with his 3rd catch.
Jake standing strong in the pocket, taking the hit as he released the ball. And as we'll see here, Jake's having to step up, gets hit. Great throw right on target, and Bo Brand shows up again.
16-yard completion. Jake's flush from the pocket. He will turn it upfield. Lost the football. It's loose. Picked up by Hardy. Rod Hardy still on his feet, shoveling his way toward the 10, and he is pushed out of bounds. 27-yard fumble return by Rod Hardy. The defensive tackle deserved it. He's played a whale of a game tonight, and he's rewarded.
He really has, Sean. And it's always funny to see the big man pick up the ball and run with it like he's done his whole life. But again, K'Wan Jakes just taking a good play and turned into a bad play. Just not taking care of the football. As you see, Hardy shaking off a couple tacklers, high-stepping, tiptoeing the sidelines.
Jacoby Washington was the one who jarred the ball free. And you saw Hardy. He's saying, don't hit me, guys. I need some air. Rod Hardy, what a solid game from his down tackle spot tonight. And Indiana State looking to capitalize. There's a throw to the near side. Pass is caught, tackled immediately. Spencer with the catch. Indiana State, 6 trips to the red zone this year, 6 touchdowns. Again, the little things.
Little things, the attention to detail, the difference between an out route that's slightly behind or slightly high and having to throw and catch us right there. Just little things add up to big things.
2nd down and 4. The ball marked just outside the 5-yard line. Fouch a play fake, rolls right. Beam pursued, throws across the grain, touchdown. The tight end Jones with the catch. And Indiana State continues to pour it on. Fouch with his 3rd touchdown of the night.
3rd touchdown at Fouch continues to show us his repertoire of skills. Out in the naked, seen his backside tight end, making a great throw on the run. Fouch has been in control since the opening snap.
Point after attempt by Corey Little is up, and he splits the uprights. Points off turnovers tonight. Indiana State with a 20-0 advantage in that category as they tack on 7 more. 6-yard touchdown pass, Ronnie Fouch to his tight end, Alex Jones. And Drew, when we talked to Trent Miles, one of the last things he told you before we ended our conversation was, watch my quarterback, Ronnie Fouch. Your thoughts on him?
Impressive. And you think about all the experience he has had at Washington, filling in for Jake Locker, making multiple starts down in Southern Cal and at Stanford, and has played in big-time settings. Has played a ton of, 2 seasons here. He said he can do everything a coach wants a quarterback to do. Get you into the right play, understanding coverage, understands his progression, gets to his 3rd and 4th receivers. And on top of that, he's athletic and accurate. So I've been very impressed tonight.
Ronnie Fouch started 8 games for the injured Jake Locker back in 2008, threw for 1,300 yards and showing some of that experience. And again, points off turnovers. Rod Hardy picking up that last fumble, setting up the scoring strike. Fouch to his tight end, Jones.
And turnovers always tell the story of the game, and tonight's no different. They've given them short fields. They've turned the ball over when Western Kentucky's had chances to score as well.
Tanner Fritchie-Lee with the kick. Shallow end over end kick. Antonio Andrews from the 10. He'll cut across the field, has the corner, watch out. 40 up ahead to the 45-yard line. There is a late marker as Antonio Andrews was shoved out of bounds. Might have been a late hit along the far side. We'll wait and see, but finally something positive for Western Kentucky to build upon.
Yeah, they need something right now to give them a little juice to get going here.
After the player was out of bounds, personal foul, number 84, on the kicking team. 15 yards will be tacked on to the end of the run. Western Kentucky football, first down.
We don't usually see the kickoff man with the late hit. Corey Little with contact just after the play. Yep, he's out of bounds. I don't know if he exactly gets a hand or anything on him, but he went flying out of bounds at him.
Well, if you're going to get hit late on the sideline, I would want to get hit by the kicker.
Exactly.
That would be the one guy I wouldn't mind pushing me out. So Western Kentucky down big now, 34-3. They start at the Sycamore 40. Jake's a straight drop. Pressure, throws, has a man open near the 20. Passes caught. Hauled in by Vasquez. 19-yard hookup and a first down.
The other couple things that Trent Miles mentioned to us on the phone, the three things they needed to do. They needed to contain Rainey. He knew he was going to get his yards, but no big plays on that end. He stressed turnovers, and he stressed to stop the run in his defense. And I'd give him A's on all fronts right now.
Yeah, they have controlled all of those avenues tonight. Approaching the 3-minute mark in the third quarter. Rainey goes in motion on this first down play. Jakes dumps it off underneath to Jones. Kadeem Jones to the 10. Has the side. 5. Touchdown. Jones out of the backfield. 21 yards, and the Hilltoppers find the end zone.
We'll see if that was the shot of adrenaline this team needs to get going a little bit. It's the first time I've seen K1 Jakes get all the way through his progression and finds Jones, his outlet back right over the middle. Jones does the rest himself. A badly needed score.
And the point after is missed as they push it right. So Western Kentucky finds the end zone, and again, something that they desperately needed. Kadeem Jones was with his third catch of the year, and it goes for the touchdown. Little dump off, and then Jones with a nice move. Here's a fullback. He certainly has a fullback's body, 270 pounds, but Willie Taggart and the coaches talking about his athleticism, and he showed it on that touchdown run.
Good feet, good shiftiness to make the first linebacker miss, and the play also helped. They had three receivers all working from left to right across the field, and as Jones gets the check down, looks to his left and had a whole lot of open space. As you see, when you just one play at a time and just execute that play, next play. Jakes did that, and they come away with the score.
If you're going to get back into a game, a two-play drive is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Aided by the personal foul on the late hit on the kickoff, and the return by Andrews setting all that up. 2 plays, 40 yards. The critical number, just 37 seconds off the clock.
But as long as you do it once, sometimes that's the first thing you need, is prove to yourself that you can do it. From here, if they can get a quick stop, there is still a lot of time left.
At the Indiana State second half possessions, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. 6 plays, 53 yards, 7 plays, 46 yards, a field goal, and then the short 2-play, 12-yard drive after the fumble by Western Kentucky. Jesse Roy puts his right foot into it. Driving kick toward the far side. This will reach the end zone as it hop skips past Riston for the touchback. These two programs trying to move up another notch on the ladder. Both these coaches took over programs that were really down and out. You see Trent Miles in his 4th year, a record of 8-28. When he arrived in Terre Haute, he had 7 offensive linemen to work with.
Is that amazing?
Numbers.
He said they couldn't even practice. They had to practice 11 on 11 to begin with, and they'd have to take breaks every 20 minutes just so the players could make it through.
2008, his first year, and
come a long way.
They certainly have. Missouri Valley Coach of the Year. Indiana State keeps attacking. Quick throw out to the flat. Justin Hilton with the catch.
One thing I could tell clearly from speaking with both coaches this week is their enthusiasm and the way that they handle their kids, the way that they speak about building a program. It's exactly what you want to hear from the outside looking in. And I think it's just a matter of time on Western Kentucky's end, getting the right players to fit this system, getting a quarterback that's consistent, and they'll be on their way. But right now, they're still a bit off.
Second down coming up, 2nd and 7 for Indiana State. They're going to use all of the play clock. They pitch it right side to Shakir Bell. Bell darts inside a hole to the 30, and now he's into the open. Shakir Bell is finally corralled at the 18-yard line. Some of that explosiveness that netted him over 3,000 yards in high school, and he darted through a tiny hole and took it from there.
And we did not think that this was the tailback we'd be talking about all night. But he get nice blocking downfield, a missed tackle in the backfield, and Shakir Bell with his explosiveness, like you said, Sean, with a huge gain.
Tyree Robinson able to catch up with him. 59 yards for Bell. He's already ripped off a 46-yard run for a touchdown tonight. Indiana State, what a performance this evening on the road. Bell is hit hard by Andrew Jackson at the 16. Gain of 3 yards for Bell now.
Jackson's still playing hard, still trying to fire his guys up.
Shakir Bell, 14 rushes, 139 yards.
10 yards a carry almost.
Came into the season his longest of his career. He's was 45 yards, and certainly has added to that with that last run. So Shakir Bell, the young sophomore from Indianapolis. 2nd and 10 from the 18. Blitz comes. Fouch backpedaling, sets up a screen, and it's dropped just beyond the outstretched arms of his receiver, Bell, coming out of the backfield.
And if they were able to connect on that, I think he had a convoy to walk him into the end zone. Fortunate for Western Kentucky.
You know, we've hardly seen Brock Lowe tonight. Lowe was the hero last week against Butler. 4-year starter, rushed for over 100 yards against the Butler team last Saturday.
Yeah, I did expect to see him carry the ball more, but when Bell's been this effective and Fouch throwing the ball, we haven't seen him.
3rd down play coming up. Fouch floats it toward the end zone, and it's dropped. Good hit delivered at the last second by the backup safety, Ricardo Singh, as Jones had it, but the hit jarred it free.
Big hit by Ricardo Singh, and Ronnie Fouch just a little bit too much air on that throw, as you'll see here. Has the middle of the field open, has his man open, and the big hit jars the ball loose. He flattens out just a hair, gets the ball to him sooner. I think he catches it.
Singh is a redshirt freshman out of Auburndale, Florida, and he delivered a pretty good jolt to jar that ball free. Corey Little on to attempt a 35-yarder. Again, has plenty of leg, and this one is good. He's a perfect 3 for 3 on the night. Corey Little with a 35-yarder, and the Sycamores lead 37-9.
They're just running their offense and continue to score each drive. There's no way you can come back if they can't stop your offense.
Mentioned the last meeting between these two teams. You go back to 2007. Western Kentucky won that year 56-7. And talking to all the coaches from Western Kentucky, they said coming in, this isn't the same Indiana State team that we remember when we left the Gateway Conference. These two teams were part of the Gateway from 2001 through 2006. Western Kentucky made the decision to leave the conference. Had 2 years of transition in 2007 and 8 before becoming a full-fledged FBS school and a member of the Sun Belt Conference. Boy, Western Kentucky really has dominated this series, and this has to feel good for the Sycamores coming into Bowling Green and doing this at Houchin-Smith Stadium.
Performing like this on any road game makes you feel good. But stepping up a level and doing this tonight, they'll go home with a good taste in their mouth and a lot to build on. They can hold on here.
You see the defensive coordinator right now for Western Kentucky trying to script something up, talking to his guys. Lance Guidry in his first season here in Hilltopper country came over from Miami of Ohio. He was part of that remarkable turnaround last year Miami of Ohio in 2009 went 1-11. Last year they went 10-4. First team in FBS history to turn double-digit losses into double-digit wins, and he was actually the interim coach for the Red Hawks in their GoDaddy Bowl victory over Middle Tennessee. He is a fired-up coach. He wears his emotions on his sleeves, and right now pretty upset along that far side.
Well, they've been hesitant to blitz tonight. They haven't played really one snap of man-to-man yet. If you don't put pressure on the quarterback, and you're going to let him see the field goal
Kickoff
clearly.
out of bounds. Ball's going to be placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
Indiana State kicking the ball out, so Western Kentucky will start at the 40-yard line. Trent Miles not happy with that. Just over a minute to go, third quarter. Indiana State in control, 37-9. Sycamores have never trailed in this one. K'Wan Jakes did not start this game. He took over in the second series after Brandon Doughty was injured. Bobby Rainey with some room. Rainey cuts up ahead to the 40-yard line. Rainey with good yardage on first down. Remember, Bobby looking for his 8th straight 100-yard game. That would tie a Western Kentucky record. He gets 20 right there.
And as we get into this fourth quarter, you can already seem to see the Indiana State defense starting to tire.
Great drop by Jakes. Now he's flush from the pocket, being pursued. Avoids one defender, turns upfield, and is he ever hit? Ryan Roberts, and here comes a marker, and he might have led with his helmet. Helmet-to-helmet hit there by Roberts, who is recovering from a mild concussion last week against Butler, and that's not going to help his cause.
No, Ryan
Personal
Roberts.
foul, number 15 on the defense. 15 yards will be tacked on to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
The previous ISU starting quarterback, Ryan Roberts.
Here comes the hit by Roberts.
See, that's not a penalty. I don't know what the referee was looking at, but he clearly leads with your shoulder. Didn't he make contact with his head? That's just a big hit on a quarterback.
Yeah, you mentioned Roberts. He started as a quarterback, and he's going to platoon back and forth, quarterback to D-back to now linebacker, and Trent Miles had nothing but praise for this young man. Total team player is how he described it.
Do anything you ask.
First and 10 from the 26. Jakes over the middle. It's up for grabs, and Vasquez holds it in. Touchdown, Hilltoppers.
By far, Jake's best throw of the night. It's a big-time throw.
Boy, when he let that one fly, I thought it was bad news. He had two defenders, but he got it just beyond their reach.
They both thought they had to play on the ball. The ball just missed their fingertips by inches.
Point after is up, and this one is good by Roy. Let's go back to the touchdown. K'Wan Jakes, how on earth did he get this one through? It looked like the Sycamores had it all bottled up.
Deep post by Vasquez over the top of the defense, and perfect throw and good concentration by Vasquez to pull that down. Real nice job to step up in the pocket, and he let that one go.
Boy, there's
turned it loose.
No room for error on that throw. Marcus Vasquez with the touchdown, and that has to feel pretty good for Vasquez hauling that in. Junior from California, able to haul that in with a couple of defenders in his face. And again, it's a quick strike offense for Western Kentucky.
At this point in the game, they're playing the way that they need to. Now they just obviously have to get some stops.
So they score on 2 plays on their last drive. This time it's a 3-play, 60-yard drive. Vasquez, a 26-yard touchdown reception. So the offense doing what they need to do to get into it, but the problem is it too little too late as we wind down this third quarter.
Well, if you're Zach Azzani, the OC, if you're Harold Etheridge, the OC for Indiana State, you just tell your offense, keep doing what we've been doing. We'll run the ball, we'll mix in the pass, and stay aggressive.
For the first time tonight, Leonard Riston has a chance to return it. Riston, just as he was getting ready to make a move, is chopped at the 27. Return of 21 yards for the Missouri Valley Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. He had a 92-yarder for a touchdown last Saturday against Butler, the first kickoff return for a score since 2005 for Indiana State.
At some point, this Western Kentucky defense is going to have to start bringing pressure, whether it's from the linebackers or the defensive backs. And I even say they need to play some man-to-man as well. There's just too much space out there for the receivers to work.
Sycamore start at the 26-yard line. What might be the final play of the quarter? From the shotgun, play fake. Fouch to throw. Off his back foot. Downfield. Intercepted. Picked off by the Hilltoppers. And it's returned up near the 30-yard line. Cam Thomas with the interception. The redshirt freshman out of Delaware comes up with the turnover.
Well, exactly what the Hilltoppers needed.
End of the third quarter timeout.
That will take us to the end of the quarter, and an ill-advised throw by Ronnie Fouch, leading by 3 scores. He overshot his receiver, threw off his back foot. And it's Cam Thomas coming up with the interception. That's his first career interception as a Hilltopper. See if Western Kentucky can pull off some late magic. We head to the fourth. Sycamores by 21. Welcome back to Bowling Green. ESPN 3's continuing coverage of college football. A beautiful Saturday night here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Sean Kinney joined by Drew Henson as we start quarter number 4. 37-16, Indiana State on top, but the Hilltoppers trying to take advantage of a Cam Thomas interception. Jake's a straight drop, wanted the home run, no one home, so he will tuck it up and run and pick up positive yardage, about 3 or 4 yards. They wanted to go end zone, but Indiana State had it well covered.
They did a 2-man route. They had 8-man block, and they gave him a good look down the field. Nice job in the secondary, though.
Here are the numbers. 3 turnovers for the Hilltoppers. Fouch with that last interception, the first mistake by the Sycamores.
Don't forget about the penalty, helmet to helmet, that may or may not have been the penalty on that last drive that also helped out Western Kentucky.
17 points off turnovers for the Sycamores tonight. Western Kentucky trying to add their name to that stat for the first time tonight.
Western Kentucky, that is their first charge of this half.
And now confusion on the Western Kentucky side, so Willie Taggart will burn a timeout. Down 21, you hate to use a timeout in these situations if you're a Hilltopper. Willie Taggart and the bunch from Bowling Green, Kentucky, trying to script up some late magic here tonight. They're going to need it. 37-16, Indiana State. They call this campus the Hill. Some folks enjoying the game from the Hill. 37-16, Indiana State on top. 14-16 to go here in the fourth quarter. Second down give is to Bobby Rainey. Rainey knifes ahead to the 23-yard line. Some late pushing at the end of the play at the bottom of the pile. Rainey pops on up. Gain of 3 yards. Third down coming up.
Rainey's slowly but surely creeping towards that 100-yard mark again.
That was Rainey's 20th carry. 74 yards now for Bobby Rainey in this one. Obviously, this is 4-down territory, Drew.
2 plays here.
Third down and 5 from the 24. Doyle in motion. Jakes to throw. Fires toward the end zone. Some contact as it falls incomplete.
There was some contact. Quite a bit, actually, by Alex Sewell. Strong safety.
Jim Murphy, the backup tight end, the intended target.
But because he had his head turned, well, turns it back. Maybe because the throw was uncatchable.
Yeah, that's what it looked like from that angle, that ball was not going to be caught despite the contact. So the official not throwing the flag, and now a 4th down for Western Kentucky. 4th and 5 from the 24. They need to convert here if they're to keep their hopes alive. Oh boy, and Jakes is going to have to take another timeout.
You hate to have to spend a second right there.
Western Kentucky, that is their second charge of this half. This will be a 30-second timeout, 30-second timeout.
I understand that you on a fourth down play, you want to be in the right spot with the right play call. But if you fancy coming back in this game, you're going to need those timeouts at the end.
Well, where do you go on this fourth down play if you're Western Kentucky?
Well, I was surprised that they came out in just a basic pro set. I think 3 or 4 receivers out there or some sort of spread formation and give your quarterback either a run-pass option.
Vasquez and Jones have caught the touchdown passes tonight for WKU. We've seen Doyle pretty active over the middle. Trips right, receiver left, shotgun on this fourth down play for Western Kentucky.
Crossing route by Vasquez.
Jakes throws toward the marker, pass is caught, and this will depend on the spot, and he's going to be short.
He didn't get it.
A yard short. Rainey with the catch, and Indiana State turns away Western Kentucky again.
Sean, you mentioned it twice already tonight. On third downs, the receiver just not getting to the sticks. It's the number one mistake a receiver can make in a situation like that is not knowing where the first down marker is and not putting yourself in position to catch the ball and already have the first down.
They needed to get to the 19, and you see there, Ryan Roberts brought Rainey down at the 20. Western Kentucky now 0 for 2 on fourth downs tonight. So unable to capitalize on the turnover, Indiana State goes back to work. Give is to Shakir Bell, and he has some real estate. Bell hurdles the pile, falls up ahead to the 27-yard line. Jackson in on the tackle, 7 yards on first down, and I gotta believe you're going to see a steady dose of Shakir Bell right now.
Yeah, certainly, and I've commented on it already a few times. Indiana State's O-line and the push they've been getting. You had a guard pulling and a tight end pulling, and neither of them made contact until 5 yards down the field.
Second down and 4 for Indiana State. Bouch will pitch it. Bell gets the call. Marker down. Bell has the corner. Down the far side, Shakir Bell to the 30. Bell up ahead to the 20. Finally caught at the 12-yard line, but as you saw on the screen, there is a marker at the line of scrimmage, and we'll wait and see what that is.
He's disappointed to turn around and see that. And the tough part is I think it may have been a pre-snap.
It is coming back. 62-yard
Illegal
run.
formation, more than 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, second down.
You hear the explanation, so wipe out the 62-yard run by Bell, and it ends up being a 5-yard penalty. Indiana State, that's their one Achilles heel tonight. That's their 10th penalty now.
On a simple detail. They said more than 4 in the backfield, which meant one of the receivers wasn't on the line.
Clock starts up again. That clock becomes the Sycamores' ally now as we wind it down. 10 penalties, 87 yards, but they have not hurt the Sycamores thus far, leading by 21. Fouch throws, Hilton makes the catch, stays on his feet. Hilton using that speed, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 46-yard line. 24 yards. Hilton can make a lot of things happen after the catch.
He's really done a nice job both getting down the field and making plays on balls in the air and using his feet once the ball's in his hands. And right there you saw him make 2 defenders miss, and really a poor job of tackling by Western Kentucky all evening.
So again, every first down, you figure that's at least 2 or 3 minutes off the game clock. And that's exactly what Indiana State wants.
Take the play clock down to below 5 before each snap when the clock's running.
Bouch on a handoff to Bell, trying to get to the outside. He does, 45, but a good one-on-one tackle made. Marker comes in. Cam Thomas with a nice stop.
Donald Spencer with the block in the back. Just not a smart play. Clearly is standing right behind the defensive back and puts both hands on him.
Illegal block by number 1 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
It's just amazing how easy Bell's been getting the edge, though. tonight. And again, no support from the Western Kentucky secondary, and you see Spencer just blocking Thomas in the back.
Cam Thomas has played a good game in the secondary for Western Kentucky. He had the interception. He led the team at halftime in tackles. And
young players stepping up.
Spencer coming over to the sideline to plead his case. It's a spot foul again, so it's 1st and 12. After the penalty, the ball at the 45-yard line. Then Duvall shows blitz. Here he comes. They run by Duvall. Shakir Bell runs by a couple more Hilltoppers. Bell all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Even when they blitz into the play, they're not making the stop in the backfield. They had the great play call defensively, and they blocked it up, and Bell just ran right through the pressure.
14-yard run for Shakir Bell. Big numbers tonight. Bell 16 carries, $154. Justin Hilton 6 catches, 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'd say their playmakers showed up tonight.
They certainly did, and Fouch has played a great game. It just the one mistake last drive they'd like to have back.
First down give. Again, it's Bell, and he hops through the pile. Bell up close to another first down. Look at him run. He will not go down. Second and third effort as he kept the legs churning. 13 more yards and an Indiana State first down.
His size, he's listed at 5'7", 170 pounds. He plays a lot bigger than his numbers show. Tough running, great balance. Again, missed tackles. He just refuses to go down. 170-pound power back.
Indiana State quickly catching up in the first down category. WKU had the advantage all night, but the Sycamores behind the Shakir Bell ground game starting to rack up some first downs, approaching the 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Again, this is Bell up the middle behind left guard following Ben Gifford. I haven't mentioned the offensive line, Drew, and these guys need to be applauded.
Definitely.
Justin Wood, Ben Gifford, F.N. Lutz, Adam Masters, and Casey Passwater. These guys have got the job done, and this is a special group. This was Trent Miles' first group when he arrived in Terre Haute, and these guys have taken their bruises through the years, so this really has to feel good for them. Very satisfying feeling.
Satisfying, I think, is the exact right word, and you can tell that they played together a long time by the way that they work together. You know, they come off in their fits, their double teams. You know, the lack of penetration says a lot for what they're doing up front together.
Shakir Bell with a little opening inside the 20, dives ahead close to another first down.
The other main difference that I've seen this evening between the two offenses is ISU knows exactly who they are, what they want to be, and how they want to use their different players. Western Kentucky is still feeling through that process. Who's our quarterback going to be? We want to run Rainey, but besides that, are we a run play action team? Are we a spread draw team? What's your identity?
How do you determine that? As a team, here you are getting set. You'll have a bye week next week if you're Willie Taggart. Then you get set for the Sun Belt Conference opener. When you guys are out of sync at Michigan, how do you rediscover it?
Well, it starts with the philosophy by the coordinator and the staff, and talent, obviously, but then trying to use your players
Indiana
to their
State.
strengths.
That's their first charge.
Playing to your back strengths, playing
half.
to your
Full
offensive
media
weapon
timeout.
strengths, your receiver core. What do they do well? What don't we do well? Those type of things.
Indiana State doing quite a lot of things well tonight. Sycamores on top, 37-16. Fourth quarter from Bowling Green. Young Hilltopper fan enjoying the festivities tonight. 37-16, Indiana State on top. Welcome back to Bowling Green. First down 10. Indiana State inside the red zone. Shakir Bell. It's been a steady dose of Bell on this drive as he gets 6 more yards over the right tackle spot.
Just 3-4 yards of carry, moving the chains, and working this clock down.
This is a career night for Shakir Bell. 5'7" sophomore out of Indianapolis. Look at those numbers against the Hilltopper defense.
One thing this league does have is a lot of good backs. And Shakir Bell is as good as any of them.
Second down play, it's a scissors action to Bell, sprinting to the outside. Shakir Bell to the 5, runs through a tackle, touchdown.
Wow. He's just as explosive in that play as he was in the first quarter.
13 yards, Bell showing his speed, showing some power late. And that run puts him over the 200-yard plateau, his second touchdown of the night.
That's about the 6th or 8th time he's gotten the corner with ease.
Point after on the way, and it is through. So Indiana State, 44-16. They lead it over Western Kentucky. Let's go back to that touchdown run by Shakir Bell, the run that put him over 200 yards.
And something an offense loves to take with them from this situation is, hey, we're going to run the clock, we're going to run the ball, we're going to run it down the field and score. And that's essentially what they did, is marched it on the ground all the way down the field.
Good lead block by right guard Adam Masters, the freshman 300-pounder. He took away the linebacker, and that opened up the alley for Bell to cruise his way through.
You know, and again, on the left side of the line, Justin Wood, left tackle, Ben Geffer, left guard, getting that edge hooked and not allowing penetration.
Very impressive drive. Eats over 5 minutes off the game clock. They go 80 yards. Bell caps it off with a second touchdown of the night. 209 yards rushing for Shakir Bell. The last time an opposing player has rushed for 200 yards here at Houchin-Smith Stadium, Lance Dunbar. You know that name, North Texas last year for the Mean Green.
You know you're going to run it. They know you're going to run it. And when you still run it, that's a good feeling.
I mean, what a luxury to have if you're Trent Miles. Last week it was Brock Lowe. He's carried the ball once tonight. Lowe had over 100 yards of the ground. Tonight it's been all Bell. It's really developed into a two-headed dragon for Indiana State.
Not to mention some talent at the receiving corps, too.
This is Andrews, has a step, and he is cut down at the 37, just when it looked like he had the corner. Andrews is jolted down. He landed pretty hard on his hip, and he is still down along the Western Kentucky sideline. 27-yard return by Antonio Andrews. And again, that's the last thing you want to see if you're a Hilltopper. You have a week to mend, a bye coming up, but these stars such as Andrews, these guys need to stay healthy.
Yeah, you can't afford to lose one of your best weapons. Right now, really, Western Kentucky just needs to keep doing what they've done the last couple of drives and be aggressive and try to score quick.
Indiana State, 429 yards of offense.
Balanced offense, too.
It has been very balanced. Jakes from the shotgun will throw it out to the flat. Rainey makes the catch. Bobby makes one defender miss. Can't shake free of the rest.
Rainey, as usual, a lot of touches, a huge workload. It's an honest day's work on his end.
Yeah, using Rainey more out of the backfield. That's his 5th catch of the game. Again, Rainey chasing some history for WKU. He needs 27 more yards to hit 100. Throw over the middle. Doyle's there. Sycamore defense giving him that yardage as he crosses up to the 45. He just found a spot and he planted.
It's a big target to see looking at you right over the ball. Big 6'6" junior tight end. And Jakes just goes through his progression. Finds Doyle in the soft spot of the zone.
Jakes on first down, throws it a bit behind his receiver. Little slant pattern thrown behind the intended target, second down.
Dexter Haynes, junior receiver from Folkson, Georgia.
Second and 10 for Western Kentucky at the Indiana State 46. Jakes pumps, nothing open. Now running for his life. Throws to Rainey, makes the catch, needs a block from Doyle, gets it. Rainey trying to misdirect up ahead to the 42-yard line.
Nice job by Jakes and Rainey making something out of nothing. Jakes almost made the huge mistake of getting tackled with the ball in his hand there as he's trying to scramble.
Short gain of 3 yards. 3rd down and 7. Jakes with great protection over the middle, caught up ahead to the 36. Marker comes in as well behind the play. Rainey with the catch near the 1st down marker. But there is a penalty flag on the play.
The spot's pretty close. It looks like they may be picking up that flag. They may need a measure.
Trent Miles trying to figure out what's going on. The officials getting together. There was a flag thrown in the secondary. That's where the flag came from. Rainey was up near the 1st down yardage.
Sometimes that's 12 men. Sometimes it's contact in the secondary. The back judge may have miscounted.
There's a stretch of the chains, and he will be just short. About a half a yard away, so obviously Western Kentucky will go for this. Well, Willie Taggart has his work cut out now. His team will fall to 0-3 on the season, regroup next week with the bye, return home the following Saturday against Arkansas State, a team that they defeated on the road last year, one of their 2 wins from a season ago.
And having to wait basically 2 weeks from today for your next chance to get a win, makes tonight all that more tough to swallow. Nobody likes to put as much work in as you do as a football player and not see any results.
Goal line situation, and they don't get it. That is the storyline of the night. Indiana State, Tyler Boyd, the reserve defensive end, the sophomore, shooting down on the 4th and short, and the Hilltoppers are turned away. 0 for 3 now on 4th downs tonight.
And 0 for 3 from that tight formation and basically running up inside. Surprised they went back to that play call. There hasn't been room in there all evening. I think if you're going to run it, work something outside to get a lead blocker on a linebacker and giving Rainey a chance to make a move and just fall forward.
So Ronnie Fouch and the Sycamores, look at the numbers they have put up on the ground. 200 yards this evening for that Indiana State ground game. Here is Shakir Bell looking to add to his total. Bell sprinting up ahead to the 44-yard line. 7 yards on the game.
And again, nothing fancy from this ISU offense. The same outside zone they've been running.
You look at this Missouri Valley Conference, the conference that Indiana State belongs in. It's kind of been a strange 5 years. Over the last 5 seasons, they've lost a member. They've gained 3 teams. They've changed their name. It's now officially the Missouri Valley Football Conference. 2008, 9-member Gateway Football Conference, and there was a 10-member Missouri Valley Conference, and the school administrators approved a rebranding initiative that changed the name to the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Now the Missouri Valley Football Conference remains separate from the Missouri Valley Conference. And there are some of the Mo Valley foes coming up on the horizon. Youngstown State on the 24th. Road trips to South Dakota State and Cedar Falls against Mark Farley's Panthers and UNI. ESPN3 will have coverage of their game at Illinois State. That game against Youngstown State, you see that on the schedule for the 24th. That was a special one, yeah. 2009, that was Trent Miles' first victory that snapped the 33-game losing streak for the Sycamores. 3rd and short, Indiana State picks up the 1st down as Shakir Bell works his way through.
Well, heading into league play, as ISU is going to from here, you really got to feel good about what you've done these first few weeks. Going to Penn State, getting that experience, coming back, beating a Butler team in a close game, the offense performing well. Tonight, going on the road, playing a bigger school, and really dominating every aspect of this game. Trent Miles and this offense and defensive staff have done a great job, and got to be excited about where they go from here.
New quarterback in for the Sycamores, and it's Coy Glass. 6'2" senior. He actually started his career at Hofstra, but Hofstra eliminated their football program, so Glass found a home here at Indiana State, backing up Ronnie Fouch.
Ironically, both Fouch and Corey Glass from Redlands, California. Played against each other in high school. Went to college on opposite coasts and find themselves at Indiana State together.
Yeah, they took different routes. Fouch through Washington and Glass through Hofstra, but they both end up in Terre Haute. 2nd down and 11 at the 47-yard line. Bunch of new names out there for Indiana State. Here is Lowe getting the carry. Brock Lowe crosses midfield. Missouri Valley Conference just putting some finishing thoughts. Last year was a solid season. They had 3 teams represent the conference in the playoffs: UNI, North Dakota State, and Western Illinois. Western Kentucky won a championship back in 2002, back when it was 1AA football, not FCS. Youngstown State with a championship in 1997. So it is a strong conference, no doubt about it. 3rd down and 7 for the Sycamores. Glass will pitch it to Brock Lowe, giving some ground, and he is tripped up in the backfield. Andrew Jackson with his non-stop motor able to bring Lowe down for a loss.
Non-stop motor is right. He's been playing hard from snap 1, and disappointing for him for some of the plays he's made to have it wrap up like this.
Like a new punter in there for Indiana State as well. Their normal punter is Santino Davis. Haven't seen too many punts from the Black tonight for Indiana State. Their offense has had one of those nights. Footed kicker boots it toward the 25-yard line. The Sycamores will let it bounce. It takes a favorable roll and finally comes to a standstill at the 9-yard line.
These punters have mastered the art of the roll.
They really
this
have.
evening.
That's only supposed to be for the hometown teams.
Not much for hang time.
47-yard punt. There's Ronnie Fouch. A good look at Ronnie. He was excited about getting the opportunity tonight, the national audience, and boy, he has lived up to it. Fouch with 3 touchdowns, 220 yards passing. Trent Miles and Indiana State winning big, 44-16. It's been a tough night for the Hilltoppers. That's one way to get a touchdown, steal the goal sign, as the Hilltopper mascot Big Reb was hoping for. Here goes Bobby Rainey into the secondary. Rainey chasing history, and that becomes our storyline now. Before that carry, Rainey had 73 yards on the ground. He is pursuing his 8th straight 100-yard rushing night, and that gets him very close. Rainey with 26 yards on that run.
And not that that means a whole lot in the scope of the game, but personally and just from a consistency standpoint, that's something that he wants, and the offense wants to leave here with.
And this carry for Bobby Rainey should secure that mark. So Rainey crosses the 40 up to the 42-yard line, and the talented senior back for Western Kentucky University, he now ties a record here at the university. He ties Antoine Floyd for 8 consecutive 100-yard rushing performances. 23 carries, 105 yards.
A lot of things have to go right over 8 games to be able to put up 100 yards.
Rainey began this senior year in what could be a record-setting campaign for him. Last week, he crossed the 3,000-yard mark against Navy. Tonight, he becomes part of history with Antoine Floyd. Jake's a play-action throw. Tries to thread it to Doyle, and Jack Doyle nearly made a highlight reel catch.
Well, each time they run this route, the coverage gets a little tighter. That time Alex Sewell made a nice play on the ball.
Here's the schedule coming up for the Hilltoppers in the Sun Belt Conference. They open up at home against Arkansas State. The team to beat, it appears, is Florida International. They have looked really good early on.
They really have been dominant early.
You see that November 12th matchup when they take on the Bayou Bengals, number 3 LSU.
It's going to be a loud late night in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, LSU looked good Thursday night. Hard-hitting win against Mississippi State. Third down play, and the pass is dropped. Rico Brown unable to haul it in, bringing up fourth down.
Just players starting to lose their concentration.
You know, at the beginning of the broadcast, we talked about changing fortunes for these two teams. We threw out a number of streaks. Western Kentucky looking to snap a home drought here at Houchin-Smith Stadium. Their last home win, 2008, 16 consecutive home losses. We mentioned the struggles of Indiana State, having lost their last 12 to the Hilltoppers, lost their last 13 against FBS opponents, and it's the Sycamores tonight who have changed their fortunes. Jakes to throw on fourth down, and he converts over the middle. Vasquez, and then he is jarred free of the football. Let's see if they mark him down.
I don't think they do, and that kind of sums up the night in one play.
And Vasquez is hurt. Marcus Vasquez, the leading receiver from a year ago, holding his right knee.
That's the last thing you ever want to see.
The ruling on the field is a fumble and recovered by Indiana State. First down.
Willie Taggart out to take a look at his fallen receiver, Vasquez, the junior. He had a season cut short last year and an injury against Florida Atlantic, and now they're looking at his right knee. Let's see what we can find out.
Well, it looks like as Vasquez plants on his right knee, it just gives out before the contact. And you hate to say what that injury usually results in when you see it turned in like that, but that's tough to watch. He may have just blown that whole thing out.
Vasquez, key component coming into the season as a receiver. Marcus being attended to now for Western Kentucky. 5 catches for Vasquez in this game. Out of California, the junior down and again working on that leg. We've seen a couple of leg injuries for WKU. Remember, Brandon Doughty making his first start was injured on the opening series. He was out of uniform from the second quarter on, so his status up in the air right now. And
we're not even sure what Cheeseborough's actual diagnosis. We're just happy that it's nothing too serious. You hope the same for Vasquez here.
Now, Western Kentucky has a lot of depth at wide receiver with Rico Brown and Jamario Brown, Neil Wilson, Bo Brand. So they have some depth there, but Vasquez is a guy they're going to need once they hit the Sun Belt run. That will be ruled as a catch for Vasquez and a fumble, so Indiana State.
Best formation in football.
The Sycamores about to end a long drought against the Hilltoppers as Coy Glass takes a knee.
It'll be a great bus ride back home tonight as well. It's better than going on the road and getting a victory and getting to ride back in the bus with your friends and teammates and talk about it, enjoy it.
All smiles for Indiana State. Congratulations to Trent Miles. You know, when you try to resurrect a program, get it going, these are the moments you live for. These are the moments that you dream of accomplishing, and he has certainly done that tonight with a victory against Western Kentucky.
Well coached, well executed game plan. Great performance tonight by Indiana State.
Two classy coaches. You know they're going to go back to work, get set for their respective conference openers in 2 weeks. Impressive offensive performance, Drew. Close to 500 yards for Indiana State tonight. Our first look at Ronnie Fouch, the transfer from Washington, and he looked solid.
Got a great game. Shakir Bell, the breakout performance, and a lot of momentum heading into league play.
Shakir Bell over 200 yards rushing, 221 tonight, 2 touchdowns. Fouch with 3 touchdown passes. Even the receiver, Justin Hilton, 6 catches, 143 yards. All Indiana State tonight. For Drew Henson, this is Sean Kinney saying so long from Bowling Green, where tonight's final score is Indiana State 44, Western Kentucky 16. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on the family of ESPN networks, go to watchespn.com. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.